Chapter 1. The Beginning of Time Travel. Alas Tilda, what the heck, I waited for a week just for this 10-minute plot, and I just watched it, and you actually inserted an advertisement for me. This unscrupulous businessman makes people live. In a dark room, there are all kinds of garbage, cigarette butts, instant noodles bags, packaging bags for bread, bottles of mineral water everywhere, and there is a very strange smell in the room. The only light in the room is the faint light shining from the computer screen on the table. On the computer is a popular Japanese anime, Naruto. At this moment, a teenager sitting in front of the computer was swearing at the computer and swearing at the advertisement inserted on the screen. This young man looks like he is in his 20s. He is not tall and relatively thin. He is shirtless, showing slightly pale skin. His short black hair is like reeds in autumn. It is dry and hard, and his face is slightly pale. Sheng is showing a very angry expression. The boy's name is Yi Chen. He used to be a student with good grades and a happy family, but was destroyed by a sudden accident. A car accident took away his parents and he became an orphan since then. Fortunately, the driver who caused the accident had a good conscience and paid him a large sum of money. Since then, Yi Chen has become self-sacrificing, doesn't communicate with others, and his grades have plummeted. Then he stopped going to school at all, staying at home all the time, surfing the internet, playing games and watching anime to fill his empty heart. Anyway, the parents left a sum of money, plus the compensation for the driver who caused the accident. It was enough to support himself without going to work, and the Hokage playing on the computer at this time was one of Yi Chen's favorite animations. Let's go, Yi Kai is too awesome. Even the 6th Dao rank Banye has been abused to the point where he can't fight back, but Yi Kai can't keep this state for too long. After all, he burns his life to exchange for it. The power that comes, the price is too high, and it is still the power of Madame Ban, which is simply incomprehensible. Yi Chen stared at the picture on the screen, and muttered to himself, want to become stronger. Want to get that a frightening power. Do you want to dominate everything? At this moment, these words suddenly sounded in Yi Chen's ears. Nonsense, who doesn't want to get it? Yi Chen subconsciously shouted, haha, as you wish. Who's talking? Yi Chen suddenly reflected that he was the only one in the room, so who was talking just now? Could it be the trouble? Yi Chen broke out in a cold sweat and shivered all over. Yes, who is it? Quick, come out to me. As soon as Yi Chen finished speaking, his eyes suddenly darkened, and then he didn't know anything. A few days later, there were news reports that a man died at home a few days later and was found by his neighbors. Experts determined that the sudden death was caused by prolonged internet access, and reminded parents not to let their children play with computers for a long time. The Uchiha clan, famous for their Sharingan, one of the 3 major pupils, fought with the Senju clan for many years. In the end, the ancestors of the 2 clans, Uchiha Madara and Chinsho Hasuma, joined forces to build Konoha Village, and then the Chia clan is one of the most powerful clans in Konoha Village. Its founder is Madara Uchiha, who is known as the strongest ninja and one of Konoha's founders. Most of the clan members are good at fire ninjutsu, such as the basic fireball technique and fire escape Phoenix Immortal fire technique. Some members of the clan have Shueiji limited shakers, which give them powerful insight in battle, copying the enemy's ninjutsu, and some special pupil jutsu. It is said that one of the ancestors of the Uchiha clan established the Konoha police force, and many clan members served in it. At this time, the house of the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, the #1 giant in Konoha, was unusually lively. Why? Because Uchiha's wife, Uchiha Makoto's child is about to be born in October. It is the child of Uchiha's chief, and Uchiha's people of course attach great importance to it. Patriarch Fuyu, don't worry too much, Makoto-sama will be fine. At this moment, an old man in the crowd said to a middle-aged man beside him. And this middle-aged man is the current patriarch of the Uchiha clan, the #1 giant in Konoha, Uchiha Fuyuke. Well, I know, Uchiha Fuyu said calmly, but his clenched fists indicated that he was not so relaxed. Father, A child who seemed to be only 5 years old was trotting from the gate at this time. Everyone in Uchiha voluntarily gave way. Because, it's Itachi, have you finished school? After seeing the child, Uchiha Fuyu's originally tense face showed a smile, and his eyes were full of doting. The person who came was Uchiha Fugaku's first child, Uchiha Itachi. Although he was only 5 years old, he was widely recognized as a genius. Yes, father, how is mother? At this time, Uchiha Itachi's young face was also full of worry. Don't worry, it'll be alright. Uchiha Fuyu stretched out his hand and patted Itachi on the shoulder and said, Haha, Itachi, you're going to be a big brother soon. Big brother, I'm going to be a big brother. Uchiha Itachi's worried little face showed a look of anticipation. Suddenly, a loud cry came from the closed room, and everyone outside the room was shocked, and they all smiled. I was born, the patriarch, Makoto was born. At this time, a female medical ninja came out of the house and said to everyone outside the house, Congratulations to the patriarch. Everyone in Uchiha said congratulations to Uchiha Fuyu, yeah. But Uchiha Fuyu was not in the mood to answer them, just nodded and walked towards the medical ninja, while Uchiha Itachi right behind him. How about Makoto and the child? Uchiha Fuyu asked the medical ninja. Patriarch, rest assured, Makoto-sama and the 2 young masters are safe and sound, but Makoto-sama is still a little weak, and there is nothing serious. This is good, eh. 2 young masters. Did Makoto give birth to 2 boys? Uchiha Fugaku was a little puzzled. Why did he hear a child crying? Yes, patriarch, Makoto-sama gave birth to a pair of twins. Oh, thank you for your hard work. Do and be polite, patriarch, this is what we should do. At this time, Uchiha Itachi on the side couldn't wait any longer. Father, my lord, I want to go in and see my brother. Can I go in? Fuyu didn't answer Itachi, but asked the medical ninja on the side. It's fine, but it's best not to disturb Makoto-sama for too long, because she's still very weak. Yeah, Uchiha Fuyu nodded and said to Itachi, who couldn't wait, Itachi, you go in. Yes, father. He hurriedly walked into the room. Inside the house at this time. Lord Makoto, there are 2 boys, twins, look at how cute these 2 young masters are. A medical ninja said to a weak woman on Chuong, holding a baby in each hand. And this woman is the mother of these 2 babies and the wife of Uchiha Fuyuke, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Makoto. Quick, put them all down and let me take a good look. Yes, Makoto-sama. The medical ninja replied while carefully placing the 2 babies in his hands beside Chuong's head where Uchiha Makoto was lying. Uchiha Makoto looked at the 2 children who looked exactly the same beside her with a happy smile on her face, and shed tears of joy. These 2 babies, who looked exactly the same, had different personalities. One was crying unrestrainedly, while the other was lying quietly, only whimpering faintly from his mouth. My children, Mommy loves you, Uchiha Makoto said as she stretched out her hand, wanting the Momo child's head. And what she wants to Mo is the baby who doesn't cry, doesn't make trouble, and lies quietly. Chapter 2, Uchiha Chen. What's wrong with me? Why can't I open my eyes? Yi Chen, who had just woken up, was very puzzled, and then found that he was so tired now that he couldn't exert himself at all. Huh, someone is talking. Why don't I understand a word? What is this place? Suddenly Yi Chen thought, wait, I was watching Hokage in my own room, and it seemed that it was haunted suddenly, and then passed out. Am I already killed by that ghost? I'm in the underworld now. This frightened Yi Chen. He finally opened his eyes after all his life. Yi Chen, who had just opened his eyes, was startled again. Because, he opened a hand, and a very large and white hand was reaching out to him. What the hell is this? What do you want to do? Yi Chen screamed while struggling, but he could only make a wow wow wow. However, the big hand didn't do anything to him, just gently stroked his head. Why did my voice become like this? Yi Chen suddenly saw the hand that he stretched out and scratched, and was stunned. This is my hand. What the hell is going on? How did my hand get so small? It's like a baby's hand. Wait, baby, I've become a baby. What a fool. Is this not the underworld, but me after being killed by that ghost, you crossed over? Yi Chen thought with a little panic and excitement. That's fine. Anyway, I have nothing to miss. The only pity is that I didn't finish watching Naruto in one piece. Let's see where I have traveled. I really hope that I have crossed into the world of Naruto in one piece. At this time, Yi Chen followed the big hand on his head and looked to the side. He saw a tall and beautiful woman. The woman was looking at him with a happy smile on her face, and she was talking to him but he didn't understand a word. Is this my mother in this life? What is she talking about? It sounds like an island dialect, isn't it? Did I travel to an island country? What a fool. Mother. At this time, Uchiha Itachi has entered the room. It's Itachi. Come here, come and see your younger brothers, they are so cute. Uchiha Makoto said to Itachi. Yes, mother sir. Itachi walked over excitedly. Haha, Itachi is a big brother now. You must protect your brothers from now on. Makoto caressed Itachi's head dotingly and said softly. Brother, this is the first time I have a brother. Itachi looked at the two identical babies on Chuong's head, and a sense of responsibility filled Itachi's mouth. I am a big brother. I must protect my little brother. Itachi made up his mind. Makoto, how are you? Uchiha Fuyu also walked into the room and asked Makoto on the Chong with concern. I'm fine, Fuyu, come and see our children. Makoto turned to Uchi. Bo Fuyu said with a smile. The medical ninja in the room saluted Uchiha Fugaku who walked in. Mr. Patriarch. Well, thank you for your hard work. The Patriarch is polite. This is what we should do. Then he retired wisely. Look at our child, it's very cute. Thank you, Makoto, Uchiha Fuyu said to Uchiha Makoto, his eyes full of love. It's okay, I'm very happy, Makoto said to Uchiha Fugaku. Hehe, the little guy is very energetic, crying so loudly. Uchiha looked at the crying baby on Chuong. Looking at Marvin Yi again. Hey, why is this little guy so quiet? He doesn't cry or make trouble. Could something go wrong? What are you talking about? How can you say that about your own child? Uchiha Makoto smiled and scolded at Uchiha Fuyu. Let's name the child. What should it be called? Yes, it should be named. Let me think about it. Uchiha Fuyu frowned and thought. Yes, this one who cries a lot is called Sasuke, Uchiha Sasuke, and this one who doesn't cry and doesn't make trouble is called Chen, Uchiha Chen. Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha Chen, Sasuke, Chen. Alright, it's Sasuke and Chen. Makoto read these two names, and she could see that she liked them very much. Sasuke, Chen, I will definitely protect you, no matter what. Itachi looked at the little guy on the Chuong. His eyes were very firm and he thought in his heart. At this time, a Uchiha clansman came from outside the door and said, Patriarch, the 3 generations of adults are here. 3 generations. I know, I will go over immediately. Uchiha Fuyu replied, 3 generations of adults are here. Well, it is estimated that if you're here to celebrate, I'll go take a look first. Well, you can go. After that, the news that the Uchiha clan added a pair of twins spread all over Konoha, and the various clans of Konoha and some ninjas with little fame and status came to congratulate, although many people were not used to the Uchiha clan, but the superficial effort still needs to be done. After all, Uchiha at this time is still the #1 giant of Konoha and is very influential. In a secret base of Konoha, in a dark hall, a man who looked a little old and dressed in kimono sat behind the only desk in the hall and looked at the information in his hand. In front of the desk, a group of masked ninjas were half kneeling. It can be seen that the man in the kimono is the leader of the group of ninjas. If you have seen Hokage, you must have guessed where this place is. That's right, here is a very mysterious department of Konoha, the root buried in the dark. And the man in kimono sitting behind the desk is Shimura Danzo, the leader of the roots. Uchiha, just let you jump for a few more days, and you go down first. The last sentence was to the ninja in front of him. Yes, sir. The half-kneeling ninjas answered in unison. After that, the instant body technique was launched with a sound of shoo. And all of them disappeared. No matter what, I'm bound to win the wheel eye. The clansmen of the Uchiha clan are immersed in joy at this time, because their patriarch has added a pair of twins. During this time, both the Uchiha clan and the commoners of Konoha are discussing the twins. It seems that these two children must be two geniuses in the future. After all, it is the child of the Uchiha chief, and Uchiha Itachi, the first son of the Uchiha chief, is the best proof. Itachi is young, but he is recognized as a genius by Konoha. What he represents is Uchiha, so in the eyes of Konoha civilians, Uchiha is the endorsement of genius, which makes Uchiha's clansmen very useful. This made many Uchiha clansmen develop arrogant characters. But later, just 3 months after Uchiha Chen was born, after a disaster broke out in Konoha, Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Chen faded out of everyone's attention. That catastrophe was Kyuubi. The 9 tails, who were originally sealed, were suddenly released for some reason. The violent 9 tails ravaged and destroyed Konoha, and Konoha's ninjas suffered heavy casualties. In the end, the young 4th generation Megumi Hokage used a forbidden technique at the cost of his own life to reseal the 9 tails in a newly born Naruto Uzumaki, and Konoha did not have a suitable Hokage candidate for a while, and he was already in retirement. The 3 generations of Hokage had to pick up the burden of Hokage again. After that, Konoha began to rebuild the village destroyed by the 9 tails. And Naruto, who was brought back from the disaster by the 3 generations, was regarded by the Konoha people as the incarnation of the 9 tails, and was resented by the Konoha people, but because of the 3 generations, seal order, everyone could only discuss it in private. After that, no major incident happened in Konoha, and 6 years passed peacefully. 96, 97, 98. At Uchiha's station, a boy with long black hair and tights looked like he was only 5, and a 6-year-old boy was doing push-ups hard, sweat dripping down his face. His cheeks fell to the ground, already wet, and the muscles all over his body tensed. It was very rare for him to do this at such a young age. From his trembling hands, he could tell that this was his limit, but he still insisted on gritting his teeth. 99, 100. Finally, after the boy did 2 more push-ups, he could no longer support him. His body slumped to the ground and gasping for breath, his arms were sore, and he didn't want to move his fingers. It's been 6 years since I came to this world, the young man muttered after turning his back. I never imagined that this world would turn out to be the world of my favorite anime Naruto in my previous life, and Yi Chen, there is even a day of transmigration, haha. Quote. That's right, this boy is Yi Chen who was born 6 years ago. In the past 6 years, Chen finally figured out the world he is in now. It was a very popular anime in his previous life, the world of Naruto. Of course he also learned the language of this world, and his name in this world is Uchiha Chen, who is the son of Uchiha Fuyuke, the patriarch of the Uchiha family, and the twin brother of Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Chen, there is no character like me in the original book, but I was reborn into the tragic family of Uchiha. But it's okay, I lived in a mess in my previous life and wasted so much youth. Since God sent me to this world, then I will seize this opportunity and live as I want. In this dangerous world where there are many talented people and countless strong people, if you want to do whatever you want, you must have enough strength, and Uchiha's blood is a good choice. Yi Chen, who has read the original book, knows that in this world of bloodline and life experience, Uchiha's bloodline is indeed the most suitable. Chapter 3. Goldfinger Now. Sharing it's really strong, but will I really have it? Even if I have it, can I evolve into a kaleidoscope? You know, the conditions for a wheel eye to evolve into a kaleidoscope are very harsh. If I don't even have a kaleidoscope, how can I get a foothold in the ninja world? You must know that the bosses that appear in the plot behind Naruto are more perverted than each other. Orochimaru, Danzo, Akatsuki, and Nagato of Samsara and behind them are the old monsters Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Madara. Thinking of Madara Uchiha's despairing power in the original book, Tatsuya could only helplessly smile. My heart is desperate for strength. Oh, it's too early to think about this, at least you have to open your eyes first and then think about it. Now you can only practice physique and shuriken. Chen laughed at himself. Ding! Due to the host's extreme desire for power, the Powerhouse system has been activated and is being bound. Chen was taken aback by the sudden sound, and he sat up immediately, ignoring the pain in his body. What the hell? Who's talking? Ding! The binding is successful. Host, Uchiha Chen. Scan the world where you are. Ding! The scan is complete. The world where you are, Naruto. This situation, could it be? Chen's spirit was shocked, and he thought of a possibility. As an otaku in the 21st century, of course, Chen has also read time travel novels on the internet, and most of the protagonists in the novels will have golden fingers after time travel, which is the welfare of the time travelers. Could it be that the benefits that belong to me, a traveler, have finally arrived? Chen was excited when he thought of this possibility. Ding! Given that the host's strength is too weak, the system will give the host a chance to draw a free lottery. Do you accept it? Lottery draw. Accept, I'm accepting. Start the lottery. Ding! Congratulations to the host for drawing the Navy's 6th style, pointing gun. A warm current melted into Chen's body, and the information of the finger gun appeared in his mind. Refers to the gun, one of the Navy 6, known as the technique of shooting power. Concentrating all of your strength on your index finger, he fired a blow with his hardened fingers. The fingertips have bullet-like attack power and can easily penetrate the human body and even steel. At this time, this skill has been completely integrated into Chen's mind. It seems that Chen Tiansheng has mastered this skill. System, tell me all your information. Answer to the host. The Powerhouse system is a system that helps the host become a strong man. It has various functions and can be exchanged for any combat skills and items, provided that the host has enough points, and the points are obtained by completing the system release. Oh, and newcomer benefits. Not bad. How many points do I have now? The host's current point value. 3. Do you want to open the exchange interface? It's only 3 o'clock, can't we send more? Chen complained in disappointment. Can't. Chi. How stingy. Open the exchange interface. Chen wanted to see what could be exchanged. At this moment, a picture appeared in Chen's eyes, with various abilities and items written on it. Samsara eyes, immortal body, eternal kaleidoscope, many powerful abilities. See Chen's eyes light up, drooling. However, after seeing the points that need to be redeemed later, I took a deep breath and said no. Eye of Samsara, item level SSS, redeem points, 1 million. Immortal body, item level SSS, exchange points, 1 million. Eternal kaleidoscope, item level SS, exchange points, 500,000. Looking at the points needed on the items, and then looking at his own points, Chen felt that his future was bleak. 3 points a day, is this the rhythm that I want to save forever? Ding! The system has issued a task. Limit the host to enter the ninja school within 10 days. Task reward. 300 points. Task time. 10 days. Failure penalty. None. Do you accept it? I have a mission. Do you want to enter the ninja school? I'm of age now. Accept. Let's go home and talk to your parents. I'm a little hungry after doing so many push-ups just now. As he said that, he dragged his tired body and walked towards the house. I'm back. Chen, who returned home, said to everyone in the room. There were 3 people in the room at this time. One was Chen's father, Uchiha Fuyuke. Closing his eyes, one is Chen's brother, Uchiha Itachi. There is also a twin brother who is exactly the same as Chen, Sasuke Uchiha, and Itachi is now playing with Sasuke. After hearing Chen's voice, they all looked at Chen. Father, brother. Chen greeted Uchiha Fuyu and Uchiha Itachi. Chen, where did you go to play today? Itachi asked Chen. Just wandering around in the clan's land. Chi. Sasuke on the side expressed his dissatisfaction with Chen interrupting his game with Itachi. Brother, leave him alone, let's continue. No one will play with me after you go out every day. I am alone every day. Chen doesn't play with me, it's so boring. Sasuke said dissatisfiedly, because Itachi had graduated from the ninja school and became a ninja 4 years ago, so he often went out to perform tasks and rarely stayed at home, and Chen, who was his peers, didn't talk to him. Chen ignored Sasuke's complaints, walked directly to the dining table in the room and sat down, then fell silent. Chen is back, dinner will be ready soon. Makoto's gentle voice came from the kitchen, and then she brought the prepared meals to the table one by one. At this time, the family was eating around the table. Brother, I want to eat that. Sasuke sat beside Itachi and said coquettishly to Itachi. Chen, who looked exactly like Sasuke, sat quietly beside him. No one could know what he was thinking. A 5-year-old child was so silent, and he didn't usually like to talk. Worrying that Chen will be too closed off. Sasuke usually likes to stick to Itachi, and Chen. It seems too indifferent. Although the two are twins, their personalities are different. Come on, this chicken drumstick is for you. Makoto put a drumstick in Chen's bowl. Thank you, mother, Chen said simply. A trace of emotion flashed in his eyes, as if moved, but he refused to show it. Brother, I want to. Sasuke was arrogant at Itachi. He was dissatisfied that his family always cared about Chen. Obviously they looked exactly the same, why should everyone care more about Chen? Brother, you have to play hide and seek with me after dinner. Chen usually doesn't play with me, so I'm suffocated. Sasuke pestered Itachi, hoping Itachi could play with him. Chen, do you want to come and play together? Itachi said to Chen, if you want to play, let's play together. No, I'm full, I'll go back to the room first. Chen rejected Itachi's invitation and went back to the room by himself. HMPH, that boring guy, leave him alone, let's go play, brother. Sasuke jumped on Itachi's back, and Itachi was on his back. Fu you, do you think Chen is too autistic? After Itachi and Sasuke left, Makoto, the mother, said worriedly. Uchiha Fuyu sighed and said, I can't see through this child, he's only 5 or 6 years old, he doesn't tell us anything he has in mind, and he doesn't like to show arrogance to his parents like other children. He doesn't seem to be interested in anything. Chen returned to his room, looking at the roof alone, not knowing what to think. Following him, he let out a long sigh like a man who has experienced vicissitudes of life. Hey, I kept telling myself not to have feelings for this family because... Chen said to himself. Chen, who is familiar with the plot, knows that in the next 3 years, Uchiha wanted to stage a coup d'état, but was finally exterminated by Uchiha Itachi, who did not want to see war. So Chen didn't want to go through the heart-wrenching pain of losing a loved one again. He had always shown an extremely indifferent attitude towards this family, just because he was afraid that he would have too many feelings for this family. I forgot to tell them about the ninja school, really. Chen suddenly remembered the mission issued by the system, and patted his forehead. Forget it, let's talk about it tomorrow, anyway, it's not in a hurry. Take a bath, go to sleep, I'm exhausted today. Said and walked to the bathroom in the room. P.S. Hey, it's so hard, I can only code 1 chapter a day. Chapter 4. Ninja School. The next day, Chen woke up and found that Itachi was no longer there, and it was estimated that he was going to hold some kind of mission, and Sasuke had not woken up at this time. After breakfast, Chen talked to Uchiha Fugaku about wanting to enter the ninja school. Do you want to go to ninja school? Uchiha Fugaku asked, looking at Chen. Even Uchiha Makoto, who was cleaning the table, stopped her movements and looked at Chen in surprise. Can you tell me why? Uchiha Tomiya asked. Because it's too boring to stay at home, and I'm already of school age. Chen replied, looking at Uchiha Fugaku. I see, I understand. The ninja school will recruit new students in 2 days. I will take you and Sasuke over there, Uchiha Fuyu said to Chen. Okay, then I'll go out first. After Chen bowed to Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Makoto, he walked out the door. Fuyu. Makoto wanted to say something to Uchiha Fuyu, but saw Uchiha Fuyu wave her hand. Needless to say, I know what you want to say. These two children are already 6 years old, and they are indeed old enough to go to the ninja school, and this is what he asked for himself. Uchiha Tomiya said to Uchiha Makoto. Child, Chen, this is the first time you've asked us. He said softly, watching the back of Chen gradually recede, his eyes filled with doting on Chen. Chen, who walked out of the house, raised the corners of his mouth slightly, changing his indifferent expression just now. You can go to the ninja school in 2 days, and then you will be able to meet the little strong people in the original book. Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura, Nara Shikamaru, Autumn Road Choji, Yamanaka Ino, Inazuka Tooth, Oil Girl Shino, Hinata. Names that were familiar to me in my previous life flashed through my mind. I am really looking forward to it. Let's go to training first. I haven't used the finger gun I just got yesterday. How about finding a place to try its power? After speaking, he walked to the place where he usually secretly trained. Chen came to a forest behind the Uchiha clan. This was discovered a year ago when Chen was wandering around. Since this forest is close to the Uchiha clan, no one from Konoha village will come here. Come, and few Uchiha clansmen come here. It is very suitable for cultivation, so Chen has always been in this forest to cultivate. Although it is cultivation, Chen has nothing to cultivate, and has not even learned the most basic chakra refining, and can only do some simple physical training and shuriken throwing. A skill only acquired yesterday, pointing the gun. Chen can't wait to see how the power is now. Finger gun. Chen concentrated all his strength on the index finger of his right hand and stabbed a big tree in front of him. PFF'd. The fingers entered in response, and very easily pierced a hole in the tree trunk. Yes, so easy to pierce the trunk of the tree. If it is pierced on a person, it must be very uncomfortable, Chen said with satisfaction. After that, I did the training as usual, and I dragged my tired body home at night for dinner. 2 days later. Are you ready? We have to go, Uchiha Fugaku said to Chen and Sasuke in the room. Chen, Sasuke, the two of you are going to ninja school today. You must get along well with your classmates. Uchiha Makoto squatted in front of the two children while arranging their collars while whispering to them. Understood, mother, Chen replied flatly. Hey, I will definitely become a genius like Brother Itachi in the future, so don't pay attention to those weak people, Sasuke said disdainfully. Because he was instilled with the most morbid concept of the Uchiha family since he was a child, in Sasuke's eyes, the Uchiha family is the strongest family in Konoha. I can't see it in my heart. Idiot, Chen despised in his heart. In fact, when he watched Naruto in his previous life, Chenda couldn't get used to Sasuke Uchiha, the eldest young master. He doesn't have much strength, but he shouts for revenge all day long, and he still pretends to be too compulsive when he is not so talented. However, I have to say that the life of this second young master is indeed very good. First he got everything about Orochimaru, and then he got Uchiha Itachi's eyes, becoming the second person to have the eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel eye. People. It's not over yet, and finally I found out that this product turned out to be the reincarnation of Indra, and it has easily reached a height that ordinary people can't achieve in a lifetime. This protagonist's halo is really enviable. Okay, let's go, Uchiha Fugaku said and walked in the direction of Konoha Ninja School. Chen and Sasuke immediately followed behind him. It's here. After walking for a while, the three came to the school gate. Uchiha Fuyu said to Chen and Sasuke behind him. Is this Konoha's ninja school? It's exactly the same as in the original book. Chen looked at the ninja school in front of him and thought to himself. Konoha's ninja school is a ninja school founded by the second generation Naruto. At that time, it was a time of war. In order to ensure the stability and efficiency of combat ability and education, the establishment of the school was a top priority. The ninja school is the most basic part of the practice of all ninjas. After learning the basics of the ninja school, the ninjas will be divided into different groups to practice with their teachers and accept tasks of different levels suitable for them. At the same time, the ninja school is also a place where all ninjas meet. I'll take you to the teacher first, and then let him take you to the classroom. Come with me. Uchiha Fuyu said to Chen and Sasuke as he walked into the school, and Chen and Sasuke consciously followed. The three came to the school's office, where some of the teachers were resting. In Zongchen, they also saw the first villain in the original book, Shuimu. Lord Fuyu. All the teachers stood up and said hello to Uchiha Fuyu. Master Fuyu is here, is there any order? Shuimu, who was smiling, came over and asked. Well, please help me bring these two children to the classroom. Uchiha Fuyu said flatly to Mizuki. Understood, these two are the children of Lord Fuyu, they must be two geniuses. Mizuki looked at Chen and Sasuke and said with a gentle smile. Come with me, I'll take you to the classroom. The smile on his face made people feel that he was a sunny, tolerant and kind person. Only Chen, who had watched anime in his previous life, knew that he was a sinister, despicable villain. You go with him, he will take you to the classroom. Uchiha Fuyu said to the two brothers. Yes, father, let's go first. Chen and Sasuke bowed to Uchiha Fugaku and followed Mizuki. You guys are a little late, the other students are already in class now. Mizuki, who was walking in front, turned his head and said with a smile to Chen and Sasuke, who were following behind him. Oh, Chen replied casually, while Sasuke walked on his own without any bird. Ha ha. Seeing that neither of them wanted to pay attention to him, Shuimu could only smile awkwardly, with a gloom in his eyes. He didn't speak after that. Mizuki brought the two to a classroom and stopped. It's here. You wait a second, I'll call your teacher first. Shuimu walked to the door of the classroom and said to a teacher who was lecturing on the podium of the classroom, Mr. Uruka, please come out. That teacher was Uruka Uno. Oh, it's Mr. Mizuki. After seeing Mizuki, Uruka shouted to the students in the class, self-study for the whole class. Then she walked out of the classroom. Ms. Mizuki, what's the matter? Uruka asked Mizuki. His eyes turned to Chen and Sasuke behind Mizuki. Mr. Uruka, two students have just arrived, and I brought them here. Mizuki said with a smile. It's these two, right? Uruka looked at Sasuke and Chen and said with a smile, hello, I'm your future teacher, Uruka Ueno. Teacher Uruka, please give me more advice. Chen politely said to Uruka. For Uruka, Chen in his previous life also admired him. He was an ordinary and great school chunin teacher. Although he did not have strong strength, he gave Naruto a good spiritual encouragement, because it was his approval. It was only with care and love that Naruto did not go down the wrong path. At this moment, there was a sudden burst of laughter in the classroom, and Uruka's face, who was just about to say something, immediately darkened. I'm sorry, these bastards, Mr. Mizuki, I have to go back to class. Uruka said apologetically to Mizuki next to him. Hee, it's okay, you take them to class first, Uruka teacher. Mizuki waved his hand and said that he didn't mind. Okay, let's go to the classroom with me first. Uruka said and went inside. Uruka, who had just returned to the classroom, saw that a yellow-haired child was drawing something on the blackboard, and the whole class was staring at the blackboard and laughing. Naruto, you idiot, get me back to your seat. Uruka immediately yelled at the yellow-haired child. This yellow-haired child is none other than Naruto Uzumaki, who liked to use pranks to attract the attention of others when he was a child, and is also the protagonist in this Naruto anime. At this time, Naruto was drawing a monkey wearing a Hokage hat and a royal robe on the blackboard. After hearing Uruka's cry, he put down the chalk in his hand, muttering as he walked to the protagonist's seat, "Chi. How boring." After Uruka calmed down for a while, he returned to the podium and said to the students below, "Everyone, be quiet, we have 2 new students in this class, everyone welcomes them together. The students below looked out the door curiously. Ah, new classmate. Chapter 5, Seeing the Small at the First Time. Okay, you two come in, Iruka said towards the door. When Sasuke and Chen outside the door heard Iruka calling them, they left the classroom and stood on the podium. Teacher Iruka. Chen politely bowed to Iruka, while Sasuke, who was beside him, pretended to be indifferent and didn't show anything. Wow, so handsome, so cool. Are they twins? They look exactly the same. At this time, both eyes were showing a red heart. Quiet, please introduce yourself to everyone first, Iruka said to Chen and Sasuke. My name is Chen Uchiha, please give me more advice. Chen introduced me to the elementary school students under the podium. Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke said his name indifferently. Uchiha, it turns out to be the Uchiha clan of Konoha. Yes, I heard that every member of the Uchiha clan is a genius. I became a classmate with Uchiha, so lucky. The classroom that had been quiet, after Chen and Sasuke said their names, they were discussing again as if they had exploded. After all, that's Uchiha, one of Konoha's wealthy family, with the famous Shinji limited writing wheel eye in the ninja world. In the eyes of Konoha civilians, the Uchiha family is an unattainable behemoth, and all the members of the family are geniuses. Nowadays, people who are usually unattainable appear here, and they have become classmates with themselves, which is enough to make this group of children extremely excited. Listening to the discussion under the stage, Sasuke Uchiha raised his head proudly, put his hands in his trouser pockets, and directly entered the pretense mode. However, Chen scoffed at the comments under the stage. Hey, all of them are geniuses. A bunch of idiots who don't know the truth. In Chen's eyes, Uchiha only has kaleidoscope writing wheel eye and fire ninjutsu to be feared, and the others are not worth mentioning, but at this time Uchiha no one in the clan has a kaleidoscope. Hey, as expected of the young master in the big family, I was late on the first day of school. A very arrogant voice came from the crowd. Sasuke and Chen looked in the direction of the voice and saw a child with broken hair and 2 lines of red oil paint on his face looking at them contemptuously. It is one of the 12 heroes in the original book, Inuzuka Tooth. That's right, it's really arrogant. Naruto on the other side said restlessly. Naruto, yeah, shut up, you two. A girl with long pink hair and a yellow hair tied in a ponytail yelled at Naruto and Ya. It was Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino who were nympho. And their words were immediately responded by the female students in the class, who condemned Naruto and Ya as a pair of troubled brothers and sisters. Oops women are really troublesome. A child sitting next to Ino said lazily. Immediately in exchange for an angry roar from Ino, Shikamaru, shut up for me too. On the other side of Shikamaru, there was a little fat man who was constantly stuffing snacks into his mouth. The noise from the outside world did not affect it. To him, this fat man is one of the next 12 strong, Autumn Road Dingji. You can't be late for class, that's the rule. A child with sunglasses sitting next to Teeth said silently. It is the oil girl Shino of the Konoha insect control family. One of Konoha's future 12 heroes. Next to Shino sat a lady whose eyes looked like cataracts. The index fingers of both hands were stirring together, her eyes were secretly staring at Naruto, and her face had 2 lovely blushes. The eldest young lady of the Konoha Hinata clan, and also the future 12 little strong, Hinata. The arrogant Inuzuka Ya, the guilty Naruto, the nympho Sakura and Ino, the lazy Shikamaru, Feng Man's Choji, the cool Shino, and the shy Hinata. Oh, Konoha's future 12 little strong, plus this pretending Sasuke, there are already 9 of them. Would you like to meet them? Chen thought to himself. After all, when he watched anime in his previous life, Chen I also like 12 Xiaoqiang of Konoha very much. Okay, give me peace. Iruka shouted to the students on the podium. After the classroom was quiet, Iruka pointed to the vacant seat next to Sakura and said to Sasuke, Sasuke-san, sit next to Haruno Sakura-san. Okay, I almost jumped up in excitement. Hey, it's really unpleasant to let me, Uzumaki Naruto, sit in a row with this kind of person. Naruto, who was sitting on the other side of Sakura, said unhappily, and he responded with a heavy punch from Sakura. Really? Sakura took the lead. Why should I sit with these two strange guys? Koino complained helplessly as he looked at Shikamaru and Dingji beside him. Hey Tilda, it's really troublesome. Shikamaru grumbled lazily on the side. Chen, please sit next to Xiaojing. Uruka said to Chen, pointing to the empty seat next to a cute long-haired girl in the back row. Okay, let's go down. Yes, Uruka-sensei. The two of them walked towards their positions assigned by the teacher. Okay, let's continue the class now. Uruka said to the students in the class after seeing Chen and Sasuke sitting down in their seats. Hello, classmate Chen, my name is Tiancheng Xiaojing, please give me more advice. The long-haired little girl named Xiaojing greeted Chen after Chen sat down. Ah, hello, please give me more advice. Chen responded politely, looked over, and found that the girl had beautiful long hair that reached her waist. Although she is still childish, she can still see her petite face and delicate facial features. Oh, this is a beautiful woman who didn't appear in the original book. Chen thought with a smirk in his heart. Hey, boy, you are not allowed to talk to Xiaojing. Xiaojing will be my bride in the future. At this time, a little boy's voice came from the seat on the other side of Xiaojing. If you dare to pay attention to Xiaojing, I will beat you up. I don't care what kind of Uchiha you are. Shabi-tai, what nonsense are you talking about? Xiaojing said angrily at the kid next to him with big eyes. Shabi-tai, never heard of it. Chen looked curiously at the child named Shabi-tai. I saw that little kid named Shabi-tai was a little stronger than the average child, with a ridiculous watermelon rind-shaped hair on his head. His eyes were wide open, and he looked very funny. Idiot, Chen said disdainfully, even a mere long-sufferer dared to shout. Asshole, don't leave after school if you have the ability. Shabi-tai threatened Chen through gritted teeth. I'll let you know that I, Shabi-tai, have 100 ways to hurt you. Chi, idiot. Chen turned his head and ignored Shabi-tai's clamor. Chen, his brain is flooded, don't pay attention to him. Xiaojing said to Chen, her tone could tell she was a little angry. In fact, Xiaojing hates this Shabi-tai very much, just because Xiaojing's house is next to this Shabi-tai's house, and the two families are neighbors. And this Shabi-tai always pestered Xiaojing to be his bride when he grew up. Then, relying on his strong growth, when he saw any boy talking to Xiaojing, he beat him up. Gradually, Xiaojing didn't have a friend by his side, and was beaten away by that Shabi-tai. So Xiaojing has been lonely all the time, no one can talk to and play with her, and she hates Taichi Shabi to death. Hee, I didn't care about that, Chen said to Xiaojing with a smile. Well, it's fine if you don't care. Xiaojing spat out her head, looking a little playful and cute. On the other side, Shabi-tai saw that Chen ignored his words, and was chatting and laughing with Xiaojing, and immediately became angry. Very good, do I dare to beat you if I think you are Uchiha? Shabi-tai likes to shoot at people who think they are very capable. Since you are courting death, Taichi doesn't mind playing with you. To let you know, Tai I never say empty words. Taisha Shabi said to Chen through gritted teeth. Tai Shabi, I'm in class now, so I'm not allowed to speak. Uruka said unhappily on the podium. HMPH, boy, just wait. Shabi-tai snorted and stopped talking. Because Uruka was staring at him unhappily. Hee, idiot. Chen was not in the mood to pay attention to Shabi-tai, because the system came with a prompt, ding. The host completes the task of enrolling in ninja school, and the ninja reward, 300 points. The host's existing points, 315 inches. Hee, I finally have some savings, what do I want to exchange? Chen thought a little excitedly. System, what should I exchange now? Chen felt that it would be more appropriate to leave it to a more professional system. It is recommended that the host exchange for chakra refining first. The system replied. Chakra refining. This should be taught in school, Chen said. Answer to the host. The chakra refining technique taught by the ninja school needs to be learned and cultivated before the chakra can be refined. The system exchanged allows the host to instantly master the chakra refining technique and be able to use chakra immediately. The system replied to Chen. Road. Indeed, if I have to wait for the school to teach, I don't know how long it will take, and then I have to refine it. I don't have so much time to waste, and I must improve my strength as soon as possible to deal with the big events that will happen in the future. Although Sasuke Uchiha in the anime it was saved by Itachi, but now that there are more characters like me that are not in the original work, it is difficult to guarantee that something will happen, so it is safer to improve your strength as soon as possible. Quote. System, exchange chakra refining technique for me. Chen said to the system in his heart. Chakra refining, item level, D, need to exchange 150 points, do you want to exchange? Yes. Ding, the redemption is successful, the points are deducted, 150, and the remaining points are 165. After that, a warm current melted into Chen's body, and a memory appeared in his mind. At this time, Chen has been able to refine and use chakra. P.S. Aha, thanks for the lovely Xiaojing, and the friendly cameo of Mr. Tai. Mwah. Chapter 6, Test Your Skills. There are 165 points left, what should I exchange? Chen asked the system while looking at his remaining 165 points. The host can exchange for a pair of single-hook jade blood wheel eyes. The system recommended to Chen. Sharingyan, do I have enough points to redeem now? Chen was a little moved. After all, the sooner Shironen could be controlled, the better. Single-hook jade writing wheel eye, item level C, need to exchange points, 500. Quote. Double-hook jade writing wheel eye, item level B, need to exchange points, 2000. Quote. Three-hook jade writing wheel eye, item level A, need to exchange points, 5,000. Quote. The system reported the prices of items ranging from Shangoyu to Sangoyu to Chen. I need 500 points for a single hook jade to write a round eye. My current point is only 165, how can I redeem it? Chen asked the system, he knew that the system could not be targeted for no reason. 500 points is only the exchange price. Since the host itself is a Uchiha family, there is no need to exchange it. It only takes 100 points to activate Shengoyu's writing wheel eye. The system explained to Chen. So it turns out, the system is quite kind. Chen thought in his heart, I originally planned to open my eyes, but forget it, if I want to open my eyes, I don't know how long I have to wait. You know that even Sasuke Uchiha is like this. The genius of the 13-year-old is still open to protect Naruto in the battle with Mizuki Shiro after the age of 13. The sooner you grasp this as Uchiha's blood follower, the better. Chen, who is familiar with the plot, knows that Shiranyan, as the most hotly debated bloodline limit in Naruto anime, has no doubts about its ability and potential. Although not the strongest, but definitely the most potential. System, activate the shaking wheel for me. Chen instructed the system. Activate the writing wheel I needs to exchange points. 100, this exchange is only for the Uchiha family. Do you want to exchange? Exchange. Ding, the redemption is successful, the points are deducted, 100, and the remaining points are 65. Quote. What's so special as a warm current, pouring into the eyes from Chen's body, and the eyes are hot. Chen hurriedly closed his eyes, and the hot feeling in his eyes lasted for about a minute before slowly calming down. Chen slowly opened his eyes had changed at this time, his eyes turned blood red, and the single hook jade was slowly turning, which was the writing wheel eye. However, at this time, the students in the classroom were deeply attracted by the Konoha Chronicle mentioned by Iruka on the podium, and no one noticed Chen's strangeness. Is this the wheel's shaking eye? I don't think there is anything special about it except for better eyesight. Chen thought in his heart, forget it, first remove the state of the wheel's shaking eye, and then study it slowly when you go back, but you can't do it. It was discovered. Thinking of this, Chen quickly removed the writing wheel. Haha tilde tilde this class is really boring, let's go to sleep first. Chen yawned, then lay down on the table to sleep. He had no interest at all in the Konoha Chronicle that Iruka said. Chen, wake up, it's time for school. Chen didn't know how long he had slept, but suddenly he felt someone swaying him. Yunyu woke up, opened her eyes and found that it was Xiaojing. Xiaojing, what's wrong? Chen asked, looking at Xiaojing sleepily. Get up quickly, it's already over from school. Xiaojing said to Chen a little speechlessly, you really can sleep, and you actually slept until after school, really? Ah, is it over already? So fast. Chen looked around and found that the classmates were packing up the immediate things. Looking at the podium again, sure enough, Iruka was no longer there. Since school is over, then I'll go back first. See you tomorrow, Xiaojing. Chen stood up and stretched and smiled at Xiaojing. Hee, see you tomorrow, Chen Jun. Xiaojing responded to Chen with a smile. The two were happily saying goodbye to each other, but they didn't notice a pair of burning eyes staring at Chen beside him. Uchiha Chen, stop for me. Chen walked a few steps towards the door of the classroom, and suddenly an angry shout came from behind, causing Chen to stop and turn his head in confusion. It turned out to be Taichi Shabi. Well, what's the matter? Chen asked plainly towards Shabi Tai. Bastard, I already said it just now, I will make you look good. Shabi Tai gritted his teeth and glared at Chen. Oh, then what are you going to do? Chen looked at Shabi Tai with interest. The conversation between the two stopped the students who were about to leave the classroom. Aha, is this going to start a fight? Inazukaya said as he looked at the two with a look of fear that the world would not be in chaos. Yoshi, there's a good show to watch. Naruto, the kid, was also shouting in a frenzy. Shabi Tai, what do you want to do? Xiaojing shouted at Shabi Tai nervously. Xiaojing will be my bride in the future, I don't allow you to talk to Xiaojing. Uchiha Chen, I want to duel with you. Shabi Tai ignored Xiaojing, but yelled at Chen. Shabi Tai, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm not your bride. Xiaojing shouted at Shabi Tai angrily. Then he said to Chen, Chen, don't pay attention to him, he is a lunatic, let's go. Oh, is Uchiha's genius going to hide behind a girl? It's too daring. Haha tilde, that's right. That's it. Needless to say, such an arrogant tone must be the two of Inuzuka Tooth and Uzumaki Naruto, an idiot who is afraid that the world will not be in chaos. What? Are you afraid? Aren't you Uchiha geniuses? Why don't you dare to duel with me? Shabi Tai sneered at Chen. Damn, how dare you insult Uchiha, you are courting death. Sasuke on the side could not see that someone was insulting Uchiha, so he jumped out and rushed towards Shabi Tai. He used to practice with Itachi often, although he failed to extract chakra, but physical skills are still much stronger than ordinary children, so he is not afraid of Shabi Tai, who is stronger than him. However, Sasuke, who was about to rush towards Shabi Taichi, was stopped by Chen reaching out his hand. What are you doing? You don't dare to go up, I'll go up. Get out of the way. Sasuke said, dissatisfied with Chen. That's my business, I don't need your intervention. Chen said coldly to Sasuke. Humph, the two of you can go together, I don't mind that there are many of you. Tai Shabi said disdainfully to Sasuke and Chen. Idiot, I don't need a helper to deal with garbage like you. Chen said to Shabi Tai expressionlessly. You're courting death. Shabi Tai shouted and rushed towards Chen, raising his fist and hitting Chen's head. Ah, Chen Jun, be careful. The nervous Xiaojing shouted to Chen. Chen Jun, get out of the way. Ino, who was standing in the crowd, couldn't help but remind Chen. Some of the female students in the class had already closed their eyes in fright and dared not look. Go to hell. When Shabi Tai's fist was about to hit Chen's head, Chen moved. As soon as he raised his right hand, he caught Shabi Tai's menacing fist in the palm of his hand. No matter how hard Shabi Taichi tried, he couldn't pull his fist back. As early as 3 years ago, after Chen knew that this was the world of Hokage, he has been training himself, because he knew that this world was too dangerous, and he would be killed inexplicably if he was not careful, so Chen has not let up for the past 3 years. I insist on exercising every day, and my physical fitness has long left these ordinary children a few streets away. Trash, it's too weak. Chen said sarcastically at Shabby Tai, and then pulled hard with his right hand. Shabby Tai was savagely pulled in front of Chen, and Chen hit Tai's stomach in front of him with a knee. Tai immediately bowed in pain and groaned in pain while holding his stomach with both hands. Chen again kicked Shibitai, who was hunched over, and kicked him directly to the ground. Although the action seems to be quite a lot, in fact, only a few seconds have passed. Hey, trash, Chen said disdainfully to the sand wall on the ground, and turned to leave. And Shabby Tai stood up with his teeth gritted, and rushed towards Chen again, his fist smashed at Chen's head, only to see Chen's head tilted, dodging Tai's punch, and then after everyone was still returning when he didn't react, he quickly turned around and grabbed Tai's neck with his left hand, looking for death. Chen shouted, and then exerted his strength, and threw Tai to the ground. All his strength was concentrated on the index finger of his right hand. His head stabbed the floor next to him. All actions are done in one go. PFF'd. The fingers entered in response, and the whole finger did not enter the floor. Shabby Tai was so frightened that he didn't dare to move. This time, the little friends were stunned. This. At this time, the arrogant expression on Fang's face was no longer there, and there was only shock and fear. This actually pierced the floor. If this stabbed someone. Thinking of this, even the fearless Naruto shuddered. Bastard, how come? How can this guy be so strong? I have already practiced with brother Itachi, and this guy only goes out to play every day. Why is he so strong? Sasuke clenched his fists and thought unwillingly. Wow, it's amazing. Too strong. Is this Uchiha's genius? Too strong. After the shock, the friends looked at Chen with admiration. And those female students screamed, Chen-jun is so handsome. Chen-jun is so good, so strong, I like it. Chen-jun, I want to give birth to monkeys for you. Even Sakura and Ino no exceptions. Oops tilde the handsome guy is really pleasing to women. Shikamaru complained helplessly on the side. Chen retracted his fingers from the floor, stood up, turned around and walked out towards the door of the classroom. P.S. I'm sorry, Kitty really doesn't know much about fighting, so everyone will make up their own minds first, and it will be improved in the future. Chapter 7. Meeting Ino by chance. Everyone in the classroom, looking at the back of Chen's departure, sighed, this is the genius of the big family. Genius. All the so-called geniuses are forced out by myself. Can a simple genius kill my efforts? Chen listened to the discussion behind him and thought with disdain. The difference between the so-called genius of a big family and an ordinary commoner is that the former has been taught by the elders in the family since childhood, while the latter has not. So people with families start much earlier than people without families. This is equivalent to two people racing on the same starting line. One person runs first, while the other is still posing on the starting line. Back. Of course, if the former is only satisfied with the status quo and does not want to make progress, the latter will surpass the former through hard work. Therefore, there is no natural genius, only hard-working genius. Chen ignored the discussion behind him and walked towards the house. I'm back. Chen returned home and found that only Uchiha Makoto was alone. Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Fugaku were not at home. It's Chen back. Huh, didn't Sasuke come back with you? Although Chen and Sasuke look exactly the same, but as a mother, Uchiha Makoto can recognize who is Sasuke and who is Chen at a glance. Well, he's in the back, he'll be right back. Chen replied to Uchiha Makoto. His tone and expression were not as cold as usual. Every time Chen and Uchiha Makoto were alone, seeing the doting on her in Makoto's eyes, she couldn't help but pretend to be cold. It would be a lie to say that Chen has no feelings for this family. After all, he was also born in Makoto's 10th month of pregnancy. In the past 6 years, from babbling to toddlerhood, Makoto has always accompanied him. Even though he deliberately pretended to be indifferent after he learned about the world and identity he was in, Makoto still smiled at him and pampered him, letting him enjoy the long-lost maternal love. Even a dog that has been raised for 6 years will have a deep affection for its owner, let alone a person with flesh and soul. However, Uchiha's fate was already doomed, even if the result was known long ago. What can Yichin's weak strength do? What can be changed? Could it be that he ran to Uchiha Fuyu and told him not to launch a coup, otherwise he would be exterminated? Even if Uchiha Fuyu has such a 1 in 1,000 chance of believing it, what about Uchiha's elders? You must know that such an important matter is definitely not something that the patriarch has the final say. If Chen really did this, he would probably be caught as a traitor. Even if he wasn't killed for the sake of the patriarch, it was certain that he would be imprisoned. The result was still the same, there was nothing to prevent the Uchiha coup at all. In the original work, even the 3 generations and Itachi tried their best to prevent it but failed, and finally had to let Itachi carry out the genocide. Even Sandai and Itachi failed to succeed. Chen-kei would not naively think that his strength and status have surpassed Uchiha Itachi and Sandai Hokage. Therefore, Uchiha was doomed to be exterminated. Chen has no power to change anything at all he can do is improve his strength as much as possible, so that he can have more chances to save his life in that big event. After all, there is no such character in the original work, who knows if it will change the plot. It is precisely because the tragedy of being exterminated cannot be changed, so Chen will deliberately want to alienate this family. In a previous life, Chen's parents had a car accident and both passed away. Chen really didn't want to experience the heart-wrenching feeling of his parents dying in front of his eyes again, so he kept telling himself not to have too many feelings for this family. Because Chen deliberately showed indifference, the family mistakenly thought that Chen had autism, depression or something, so the family unconsciously cared more about Chen than Sasuke. It is also for this reason that Sasuke's dissatisfaction with Chen led to the poor relationship between the two who were originally twins. I'm back. At this time, Sasuke also returned home. Sasuke is back. It's the first day of school today, how are you feeling? Makoto asked Sasuke with a smile. Sasuke glanced at Chen with a complicated look, and said to Makoto, I didn't learn much at school today. By the way, Mom, what about brother Itachi? Has he not returned yet? Yeah, I heard that Itachi went on a mission today, and probably won't be back until tomorrow. Makoto touched Sasuke's head and said to him with a smile. Oh, it's another mission, why are there so many missions? Sasuke said dissatisfied. Hee, I can't help it, my brother is a ninja, and Sasuke will become a ninja in the future. Makoto comforted Sasuke. Okay, let's go play by yourself first, mommy will cook first. Makoto said to Chen and Sasuke, then got up and went to the kitchen to cook. It's still early for dinner, let's go out for a walk, I haven't visited Konoha well since I grew up. Chen thought to himself that he hadn't visited Konoha village yet, so he took advantage of this time to go out for a walk. Chen, where are you going? Sasuke asked Chen, who was about to go out. Chen felt very strange, this Sasuke usually doesn't care about him, how could he stop him so abnormally today? Although it felt strange, Chen still answered him, I didn't go anywhere, just went out for a walk. Then I'm going too, Sasuke said and got up and followed. What's going on with this guy today? Not only did he take the initiative to talk to me, but he also wanted to go out with me. Chen looked at Sasuke and wondered in his heart. In fact, today's Chen gave Sasuke a big shock. Chen, who usually doesn't like to talk or play with him at home, has such a strong strength. This is completely beyond Sasuke's understanding of Chen. He often accompanies Itachi to practice, but he has never seen Chen practice. He is very curious about how Chen has such a strong strength. So today he plans to follow Chen to see what he usually does. Oh, whatever you want. Although Chen felt strange in his heart, he didn't show it. Anyway, I was just going out for a walk, so let him follow if he wants to. Afterwards, the two brothers went out together. The two walked on the streets of Konoha, and neither of them spoke. After a while, Sasuke couldn't bear it anymore, and asked Chen, do you usually just go shopping like this when you go out? Huh, do you have any opinions? Chen said to Sasuke coldly. Damn, then how can you have such a strong strength? Oh, you said this. Chen said suddenly. He finally knew that Sasuke was abnormal. Of course I cultivated myself. Chen didn't plan to hide it from Sasuke, because Chen knew that Sasuke would never say it. What? Cultivation yourself? How is this possible? Sasuke said in surprise. I'm obviously practicing with brother Itachi, and I'm not that strong. How can you cultivate to that level by yourself? That's your own. It's a matter. Chen ignored Sasuke and walked on his own. Damn, I won't lose to you. Sasuke didn't follow, but ran back home, probably to go back to practice. Hey, it's better to go, little brat. Chen ignored Sasuke's departure and continued to stroll by himself. Huh, that's Chen-jun. On Konoha Street, a little girl's suspicious voice came from a flower shop. It's really Chen-jun. Hey, Chen-jun, Chen-jun. The girl faced the street. Chen on the top shouted. Chen, who was walking on the street, suddenly heard someone calling him, and looked in the direction of the voice suspiciously. I saw a little yellow-haired loli with an apron standing at the door of a flower shop and a shower in her hand, waving at her. Huh, isn't this Ino? When I think of it, her family is from a flower shop. The little loli that Chen looked at was Yamanaka Ino. Chen walked over and asked Ino with a smile, pretending not to know him. Hello, may I ask who you are? I'm Ino, Yamanaka Ino. We are all in Iruka-sensei's class. Ino explained to Chen. Oh, it's classmate Ino. Hello. This is your flower shop? Chen asked Ino with a smile, and he was completely different when he was in the classroom. Yes, this is my mother's flower shop. I came to help after school. Ino replied. Hee, does Ino like flowers? Well, I like it very much. Ino replied happily. Chen picked up a rose and asked Ino, how much is this flower? Chen-jun wants to buy flowers. These are roses, which are usually given to lovers or loved ones. If Chen-jun wants them, I will give them to you. Ino said to Chen a little shyly. Hee, is Ino going to give it to me? This is a rose. It's a rose for a lover or someone you like. Does Ino like me? Chen joked to Ino. Ah, this. Ino didn't expect Chen to be so straightforward, so frightened that she was speechless. Hee, I'm not kidding you. How much? I bought it, Chen said to Ino. Oh, this rose is 10 taels of silver each. Ino told Chen the price, and a bit of disappointment could be heard in his tone. Here, I'll give you the money. Chen took out 10 taels of silver and handed it to Ino. Then, this flower is mine now. Chen said and handed the flower to Ino. Here. For you. Ino took it subconsciously. Give it to me. Yeah, I gave it to you. Don't you like it? That's fine. Chen said and reached out to take it back. No. I like it very much. Ino quickly said to Chen. Hee, if you like it, I'll go first. Chen said to Ino. Well, see you tomorrow, Chen-jun. Quote. See you tomorrow. Chen turned around and left after saying that. Ino looked at Chen's back, and shyly cupped his face with both hands. Chen-jun actually gave me roses, hee. Chapter 8, Uzumaki Naruto. Hee, Ino was really cute when he was a child. Chen thought to himself as he walked down the street. Where are we going now? By the way, Yeel Ramen. Chen suddenly thought of Yeel Ramen in the original book. Ichiro Ramen is an iconic restaurant in Naruto. Although the ramen sold by this ramen restaurant is ordinary, it is the favorite of the protagonist Naruto Uzumaki in the original book. This is just an ordinary snack shop, but it runs through almost the entire plot of the anime. Naruto's teacher at the ninja school, Iruka Ueno, likes to eat ramen from this ramen restaurant, and often invites Naruto to eat. Influenced by Iruka, the ramen in this ramen restaurant has also become Naruto's favorite food. Naruto often discusses important events or life philosophies while eating ramen with Iruka or Kakashi, and there are also some funny jokes during this period. Oh, This is a classic in the original book. If you travel to Hokage and don't go to Yale to eat a bowl of ramen, you will be in Konoha for nothing. And I'm very curious about the owner of Yale Ramen. In his previous life, Chen-Kei read a lot of rumors about Boss Yale on the internet. Many people speculate that the boss of Yale Ramen is the big boss behind the scenes. Although it was later confirmed that the rumor was purely nonsense, Chen still wanted to take a look and try the legendary Ikile Ramen by the way. Find someone to ask where Yale Ramen's noodle restaurant is. Chen still didn't know how to get to Yale Ramen restaurant. However, Ichiro Ramen is also very popular in Konoha, so Chen will know the direction by asking anyone on the street. Hit him, beat him. Chen, who was walking towards Yale Ramen, suddenly heard a call from a small alley. Huh, what's the situation? What happened? Chen walked over curiously. Chen, who walked into the alley, saw that 3 children were actually bullying a yellow-haired child. The bullied child had been beaten to the ground. But even so, the yellow-haired child had no intention of begging for mercy. Haha, trash, see if you dare to be arrogant. One of the 3 beating children mocked at the child lying on the ground. Yes, he is obviously a piece of garbage, yet he still wants to go to school. Another child also said contemptuously. Haha, trash. Bastard, I, Uzumaki Naruto, are not trash, I am the future Hokage. The child who was beaten to the ground raised his head, gritted his teeth and said unyieldingly to the 3 children. The yellow-haired child who was being bullied at this time was Naruto Uzumaki. Uzumaki Naruto, he is the protagonist of the entire Naruto anime, the son of the 4th generation Naruto Minato and the 2nd generation Ninetales Zuli Uzumaki Kushina. When Kushina's due date is due, the seal will be weakened because of the female human pillar power during pregnancy. Obito controlled the Ninetales to break the seal and pulled out the tailed beast with a swivel eye, and then controlled the Ninetales to wreak havoc in Konoha, causing Konoha to suffer heavy losses. In the end, Minato made his own choice. He decided to sacrifice his own life, seal the Ninetales by himself, and seal half of the nine-tailed chakra and the last chakra of himself and Kushina on Naruto, so that the husband and wife would be sealed. Both of them can accompany Naruto to grow in Naruto's body, and set the sealing procedure so that they can help Naruto at the 2 most critical junctures. In the end, the Ninetales were sealed, Minato and Kushina both sacrificed. Before his death, Kushina entrusted Naruto to the 3 generations of Hokage. Although Minato and Kushina left last words before their death, hoping that the villagers of Konoha Ninja Village would regard Naruto as the village's hero, but out of confidentiality, except for Hiruzen Sarutobi and a few villagers who knew the inside story, his life experience has not been announced to the public, and even Naruto himself does not know it. Most people in the village regard Naruto as the incarnation of the 9 tails, and treat him with cold eyes. Because of this, Naruto has been growing up in loneliness, but he always wants to be recognized by others, so he will play pranks in the village to attract attention. He told everyone who questioned his potential that one day he would be the #1 ninja in Konoha village, Hokage. He told Iruka and everyone that he wanted to be Hokage because he wanted everyone around him to identify with him. After Naruto graduated, he still longed for people's recognition, so he became the most surprising ninja, in Hatake Kakashi's words. Naruto is a humorous person. He often faces the world with a smile on his face, but sometimes he hides his anxiety with a smile, so that others don't worry about him. Although Naruto's ninja is speaking straight, it does not mean that he speaking everything. Naruto is always too strong in front of others, so strong that people ignore him. Sometimes he is just trying to be brave. To outsiders, he is a person with no worries, but those who really know him can often see the worries he has buried in their hearts. In addition, Naruto's belief is very firm. He always believes that people can find light in justice. At the same time, he is also very rational. He understands that the road of justice is not an easy road. Walking on that road will encounter countless difficulties and obstacles. He also attaches great importance to friendship with his companions, taking Kakashi Uchiha Obito's motto, "In the ninja world, those who can't complete their tasks are trash, and those who abandon their companions are even worse than trash. In his previous life, after the death of his parents, Chen was once passive and gave up on himself. However, after watching Naruto Uzumaki, the protagonist in Naruto, I was moved by Naruto's character and slowly walked out of the shadow of the death of his parents, no longer depressed. Therefore, Chen appreciates and thanks Uzumaki Naruto very much. Seeing Naruto being so bullied at this time, Chen walked over with a gloomy face. Haha, what did he say? Hokage, haha. After Naruto said that, the three children laughed as if they had heard the funniest joke in the world. Hokage, are you an idiot? A rubbish like you wants to be a Hokage. Haha, you are Hokage, and I'm still a big name. Haha, I'm dying of laughter. Bastard, don't laugh. I will definitely become Naruto in the future. Naruto retorted angrily. Hit him, beat him, let him be Hokage, let him dare to be arrogant. The three children wanted to attack Naruto again. Get out of here. Chen, who came over, shouted at the three children. Who, do you want to be beaten too? The three children who heard the shouts turned their heads and looked at Chen. Yes, it's you, Chia, Chen. Seeing that the person who came was actually Uchiha Chen, the three children were horrified. They were students in the Aluka class, and they all saw Chen in the school today. The strength displayed, that is someone who can even kill Shabitai in seconds, especially the last blow, which pierced the floor, if it pierced himself. Thinking of this, the three suddenly felt a creepy feeling. I told you to get out. Didn't you hear? Or do you want to fight with me too? Chen said to them. Let's go right away. Let's go right away. The three of them ran out in fright. What are you kidding me to do with a monster like you? After the three children had all run out, Chen came to Naruto's side, helped him up, and said to him, are you alright? Do you want to take you to the hospital? Hey, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. If I want to become a Hokage person in the future, I don't need to go to any hospital. I'll be fine tomorrow. Naruto pretended to be relaxed, but at this time he had a blue nose and a swollen face. Very funny. I forgot that this guy is the nine-tailed Manzuli. The recovery ability is amazing. It's estimated that this little injury will heal in a while. Chen thought of this and said to Naruto, then don't go, you are Uzumaki Naruto, right? Hello, my name is Uchiha Chen. Uchiha Chen, I know. Okay, I'm going home, goodbye. Naruto said to Chen and was about to leave. Hey, Naruto. Chen stopped Naruto who was about to leave. Naruto stopped, turned his head and asked Chen in confusion, huh? What else are you doing? Let's make friends, Naruto. Chen said to Naruto with a smile. What, you want to be friends with me? Naruto asked Chen excitedly. Naruto has been alone since he was a child, he has no friends, he is always bullied, he has always been alone, and no one has ever wanted to make friends with him. Today, Chen suddenly said that he wants to make friends with him and let him there is a feeling of being flattered. Yes, don't you want to? Chen asked Naruto with a smile. No, not, just. Naruto was about to say something when suddenly an embarrassing sound came from his stomach. This. Hee, let's go Naruto, let me treat you to ramen, I was looking for a ramen just now, do you know how to get there? Chen said to Naruto with a smile. Kyle ramen. I know, where is the best ramen, and where is my favorite place to eat ramen? As soon as he said ramen, Naruto immediately said to Chen happily, I'll take you there. Well, let's go. Then, Naruto took Chen to Yil Ramen restaurant, and Chen also met Uncle Yil as he wished, an ordinary uncle, nothing special. Chen also ate the Yil ramen, which he had always longed for, and it was really good. Are you full, Naruto, do you want another bowl? Chen, who had finished his ramen, asked Naruto next to him. Yeah, that's enough, I'm full, thank you for the hospitality. Naruto burped after drinking the last sip of soup in the bowl, and said gratefully to Chen. Hee, you're welcome, we are friends. Chen waved his hand at Naruto and said to him, "Okay Naruto, it's time for me to go home, you can go back too, see you tomorrow." "Yeah, see you tomorrow." Naruto also waved at Chen. "Let's go," Chen said and walked back in the direction of his home. Naruto was still stunned. "Are you a friend?" Naruto couldn't believe it at this moment that he actually had a friend. Suddenly he jumped up happily. I have friends too. Hey, Uncle Yeel, I also have friends, it feels so good to have friends. Naruto said excitedly to Uncle Yeel. Right. Oh, isn't it? That's really nice. Uncle Yeel was also very happy for Naruto. Uncle, I'm going home first, thank you for the hospitality. Naruto said goodbye to Uncle Yeel happily, and then ran back to his home. I am so happy today, I really hope tomorrow will be here soon. Naruto at this time, very much looking forward to the arrival of tomorrow. Chapter 9, Transition Chapters. Chen, who returned home, found that Uchiha Fuyu had returned, and the family was waiting for him to have dinner. No one touched the chopsticks for the meal at a table. Seeing that Chen Gang came back, the family did not blame him. Seeing this, Chen's heart seemed to be touched by something, but he tried his best to restrain it. I am back, Uchiha Fuyu said to Chen calmly, without asking him why he came back so late. Come here, it's time to eat. Makoto filled Chen with a bowl of rice with a smile and let him sit down. Thank you mother. Looking at Makoto's doting eyes, she wanted to say that I had eaten Chen, but swallowed the words that just came to her mouth. Okay, let's all eat. Uchiha Fuyu said and picked up the bowls and chopsticks to eat. After all, he was very hungry after dealing with things for a day, but he still waited for Chen to come back before starting to eat. Although Uchiha Fuyu has always been a serious father at home, although he looks serious on the surface, he actually loves his children very much, but he doesn't show it. The family didn't say much during the meal, only Makoto served Sasuke and Tatsuya food from time to time, and then watched them finish eating with a happy smile on her face. I'm full, father and mother, I'll go back to the room first. Chen bowed to Makoto and Fuyu after eating the meal in the bowl, and wanted to go back to his room. Are you eating so little? Are you uncomfortable? Makoto asked with concern when she saw that Chen didn't eat much. Oh, I'm fine. Hearing Makoto's caring greetings and feeling her mother's love for her, Chen felt a panic in her heart, but she could only try her best to restrain herself, not daring to show her feelings. He replied calmly. At this time, Chen just wanted to leave quickly, because he was very afraid that he would be trapped in it. This child, what's the matter? Makoto was still a little worried. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. It's not that you don't know what he is like. Let's eat first, Uchiha Fuyu said to Makoto. On the other hand, Sasuke saw that Makoto was so doting on Chen, and he felt very uncomfortable. Hey Tilda, Chen returned to the room, sat on the bed, and finally sighed helplessly. The night without a word. The next day, Chen was awakened by Sasuke's voice early in the morning. What's going on with this guy Sasuke? Could it be that Itachi is back? Chen rubbed his eyes, going out suspiciously. Brother, what did you do yesterday? Why did it take so long to come back? Chen, who was just walking out the door, heard Sasuke's words. Sure enough, Itachi is back. Now Itachi should also join Anbu. Chen thought as he opened the door and walked out. This is the secret of the mission and cannot be revealed. Itachi tapped Sasuke's forehead with his right hand and said to Sasuke. At this time, Itachi saw Chen coming out of the room. He said to Chen, Chen, you got up. Yeah, Chen answered Itachi calmly, and went straight into the bathroom to wash. Okay, Sasuke, stop pestering your brother, come over for breakfast, and go to school later. At this time, Makoto brought up the breakfast prepared in the kitchen and wrapped it around Itachi. Sasuke said. Oh, Sasuke reluctantly walked to the table to eat breakfast when he saw Makoto speak. And Chen also came out of the bathroom after washing up. After breakfast, Sasuke and Chen went to the ninja school together, and the two of them were speechless. "Good morning, Chenjin." When Chen just entered the classroom, he heard someone greet him. It turned out to be Ino. "Well, it's Ino, good morning." Chenya responded politely, then walked towards his seat and greeted Naruto when he passed by. "Naruto, is your injury okay?" It's alright, it's alright. Naruto's body is very good." Haha tilde tilde. Naruto was stunned when he saw that Chen actually greeted him, and then said carelessly, it could be seen that he was really happy. "Oh, that's good." Then Chen went to his seat and sat down. "Good morning, Chenjin." Xiaojing on the side greeted Chen with a smile. "Haha. Good morning, Xiaojing." The two greeted each other, but this time, Tai Shabi, who was sitting on the other side, didn't make a sound. After that, Baruka walked into the classroom to announce the class, and continued to speak from yesterday's Konoha Chronicle, directly hypnotizing Chen into a drowsy state, and fell asleep directly on the table, and was not shaken by Xiaojing until after school. Awake. The second day, the third day, the fourth day. It repeats every day. Later, Chen slowly got acquainted with the various Xiaoqiangs in the original book at school. Although Chen was very indifferent at home, he was very easygoing outside, not as arrogant as Sasuke, so everyone was willing to make friends with Chen. And Ino and Sakura are still as crazy as in the original book, but the difference from the original is that Sakura still haunts Sasuke, while Ino always follows Chen. The two did not become rivals as in the original book, but a pair of very good girlfriends. After a week, Baruka, who finished the Konoha Chronicle, started the real lecture, telling about the nature of chakra, the types of chakra characteristics, and then taught the technique of chakra refining, but these are useless to Chen, he's still sleeping. Originally, this behavior made Iruka very disgusted, but after Chen cast chakra in front of him, he didn't care anymore. Then everyone knew that another genius came out of Konoha's ninja school. Uchiha Chen, the child of Uchiha's current patriarch, is the younger brother of Uchiha Itachi, who used to be a genius at school. In contrast, although Sasuke Uchiha is also outstanding, he is still a little worse than Chen. Everyone once again sighed that Uchiha was indeed worthy of the Konoha giants, and he was indeed full of talents. This year, Uchiha Chen and Uchiha Sasuke were 6 years old and entered the ninja school. Also in the same year, Uchiha Itachi joined Anbu at the age of 11. The dividing line. Uchiha has always been suspected by the village after the disaster, Nine Tails, 4 years ago. Since then, Uchiha has been suppressed everywhere in Konoha. At the request of Konoha executives, Uchiha was forced to move his family to live in a corner of Konoha village. In the end, the Uchiha clan decided to launch a rebellion in order to restore the family's reputation and status. Among them, Itachi's father, Uchiha Fuyu, became the planner and leader of the rebellion. He forced Itachi to become a member of the Anbu family to obtain information on the upper levels of Konoha for the Uchiha family. 2 years passed after that. In the past 2 years, the upper management of Konoha used Itachi to love peace and forced him to monitor Uchiha. Since then, Itachi has become a double agent who weighs the pros and cons in the political gap between Konoha and Uchiha. In a secret base in Konoha, 3 people were discussing something at this time. Of these 3 people, one is Uchiha Itachi, one is Shimura Danzo, and the last one is Konoha's 3rd generation Hokage Sarutobi Hibiki. Itachi, have you figured it out? If you let Uchiha rebel, we will send ninjas to stop it, and many people will die. Of course, this will also include your 2 younger brothers. Danzo is very calm, said to the weasel. Wait, Danzo, we should negotiate with Uchiha first. The 3 generations on the side said to Danzo. Negotiation. That's impossible. Uchiha's conspiracy is not a day or 2, they can't accept the negotiation. Danzo retorted Sandai. At this time, Itachi, who was half kneeling, said, if I make a move, will I really let my 2 younger brothers go? Yes, but someone has to get into the route. No way, can't let them into the route. Route was founded by Danzang, and most of the members in it are members of various blood and secret families in Konoha. After entering, they will be planted with various spells, and then brainwashed, becoming a tool that the 6 relatives do not recognize and only obey the orders of Danzang. Has greater flexibility than Anbu, specializing in assassination, intelligence and other high-risk tasks. It is an elite organization carefully cultivated by Danzo that can only be hidden in the dark. You have no choice, or you want them both to die. Danzo pressed Itachi. Tanzo, you are going too far. The 3 generations beside him scolded Danzo. Is it like this? Have you made up your mind? Danzo asked Itachi, ignoring the 3 generations. At this time, Itachi closed his eyes in pain, clasped his hands tightly, his nails were sunk into his flesh, but he was indifferent. Finally, Itachi opened his eyes and said to Danzo, I will do it, and then I will run away from Konoha with all the charges. I just hope that you will also keep your promises. Don't worry, I only need 1 Uchiha to join the route, and I won't shoot against your other brother. Then, I'll step back first. Uchiha Itachi bowed to the 3rd generation, and then stepped back. Danzo, why are you doing this? Is it too much? After Itachi left, the 3rd generation asked Danzo. Humph, Uchiha is too dangerous. I don't want too many Uchihas to get out of my control, you don't have to worry about this. After Danzo finished speaking to him, he also walked out. Hey tilde. Looking at the back of Danzang leaving, the 3 generations sighed helplessly. P.S. Ask for collection, ask for flowers. Chapter 10. Night of the Genocide 1. Fire escape, the technique of trenching fireballs. In the woods behind the Uchiha clan, Tatsu was practicing ninjutsu at this time. I saw that his hands quickly formed a set of handprints and then sprayed a flame towards a clearing in the woods. This is exactly the fire escape ninjutsu in the original book, the technique of trench fireball, which gathers chakra behind the throat and sprays it out like a big fireball with great lethality. This ninjutsu is the first ninjutsu that Chen learned. This fireball technique was taught to him by Sasuke 2 years ago, and Chen also learned from Itachi. What I learned in school was only the most basic 3-body technique. A long time ago, Chen knew his chakra attributes. It is very similar to Sasuke in the original book, which is a thunder and fire chakra. It seems that every Uchiha clan will have a fire chakra. That's it for today, Chen said breathlessly, seeing that he had been practicing for a long time, and then walked to a tree and sat down. The system will check my points. Chen asked the system after a short rest. All points of the host are 2739. Do you want to open the exchange page? No need, Chen replied to the system. This has been saved for the past 2 years, so keep it for a rainy day. These points were all given by the system's new blessings. During these 2 years, Chen has never received a task. It is worth mentioning that in addition to these points, Chen also got 2 lottery chances. In the first lottery draw, I got the moon step, which also belongs to the 6th form of the Navy, and can make myself float in the air. The second lottery draw, I got a contract with a psychic beast of the race called Poodle. This is a fighting race. The psychic beasts in this race have a characteristic, that is, they are aggressive. From small poodles just born to adult poodles as large as tens of meters, they like to fight. And Chen is currently able to channel the most powerful poodle, and it is only more than 10 meters high. This poodle's name is Lu Dao Wang, although the name has the word Lu Dao Wang, but this Lu Dao Wang has nothing to do with the legendary Lu Dao Immortal Half-Dime. And this Lu Dao Wang is called Erha by Chen. It's just nasty fun. However, these 6 Dao Wangs are ruthless characters. In this group, he is notoriously ruthless. The poodle is by nature, and Lu Dao Wang likes to fight with his clan since he was a child. Even if he is defeated by someone, he will always challenge the clan who defeated him until he wins. Gradually, the 6 Dao Wang became very prestigious among the poodles of his generation. And after something happened later, he was even more certain of his status and became the boss of that generation of clansmen. That is, in a battle, Lu Dao Wang faced a creature stronger than him alone, but Lu Dao Wang insisted on fighting it, and in the end, at the cost of being stabbed in one eye, he forcibly took the creature. Get killed. Then he dragged his severely injured body, knocked all the creature's teeth off, and strung it into a string of bone-tooth necklaces and hung it on his body. After that, Lu Daowang lost one eye and could only wear a blindfold. Search the internet for Pride Stalker to see the prototype. In the past 2 years, Chen's strength has been improving, and the riding wheel has also risen to Ergoyu, and his strength has reached the level of elites. It's almost time for dinner, let's go back first, Chen said and stood up and walked home. When he returned home, he found that Uchiha Fugaku was not at home, but Itachi came home rarely, and Sasuke was sticking to him. After seeing Chen coming back, Uchiha Itachi said to Chen, "Chen is back, come here." Huh, Chen walked over in confusion, "What's the matter, brother?" "Well, it's nothing, it just suddenly occurred to me that the three of us haven't had a good chat together yet," Itachi said to Chen with a smile. "Ah, is that so?" Chen was a little surprised when he saw Uchiha Itachi's smile. After all, Itachi is notoriously paralyzed. "Well, yes, let's have a good chat today." Then he said to Sasuke, "Sasuke, you and Chen have not been on good terms since childhood, so this will not work. We are all brothers, and the two of you are even more twins born on the same day should not be separated." Quote. Hearing Itachi said this, Sasuke and Chen looked at each other, and both saw doubts in each other's eyes. After dinner, what are you brothers talking about? At this time, Makoto had already prepared the meal and shouted to the three of them. "Hee, just take care of yourselves in the future, don't think too much, let's eat first." Chen smiled and said to Chen and Sasuke, then stood up and walked towards the dining table. After that, Chen returned to the room after dinner, lying on the chuang but thinking about what Itachi just said. Today's Itachi is very abnormal, why did he say that? Could it be? Chen suddenly felt a sense of unease in his heart. Who is it? Makoto, who was just about to sleep, suddenly heard someone knocking on the door of her room, and she got up and went out to open the door. When he opened the door and found that it was Chen, he smiled and asked, "It's Chen, what's wrong?" "Mother, I suddenly want to come and sleep with you tonight, okay?" Chen said to Makoto. Hee, of course you can, Mom is very happy, come in," Makoto said to Chen. Why did Chen think of coming over to sleep with Mom today? Maken asked Chen after covering Chen's quilt. "It's nothing, I just came over because of my mother." Makoto froze for a moment and smiled at Chen, Chen is the first time to call me mother." Her eyes were full of doting. "Go to sleep, you and Sasuke have to go to school tomorrow. I heard there will be a small exam tomorrow, right? Well, go to bed, good night, Mom." After Makoto turned off the light, she closed her eyes and went to sleep. Although he said good night, Chen didn't sleep, but kept looking at Makoto with attachment in his eyes. The next day, Chen woke up early because he hadn't slept all night. After that, Makoto also got up and went to get them breakfast. After Sasuke and Chen ate, they went to school together. Chen was restless all the way, and when he arrived at the school, he was in a trance, and he didn't even notice when everyone greeted him. "Bastard, why are you so uneasy, is it going to happen?" Chen's heart was so impetuous that it was difficult to calm down, and it was like this all day. "Then, let's start the small test." Everyone lined up, one by one. The test is one of the 3 body transformation, let's start. Uruka held a record book in his hand, facing the class said the students. He also doesn't understand why the 3 generations of Hokage let him take a small test today. "Inazukaya, you come first," Uruka said to the first tooth. "Hey, look at this uncle." Tooth stepped forward and made a bang with both hands, and a cloud of smoke appeared around Tooth, and then changed into Uruka's appearance. "Qualified, next," Uruka said to the rest while recording. "Damn, hurry up, hurry up." Chen clenched his fists, becoming more and more uneasy, and he had already thought of something. "Okay, today's test is over, school is over." After the test was finally over, the sky was already darkening slightly. "Oh, what a good test," It's so late. Really, Chen, let's go eat ramen together. Naruto said to Chen. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. Chen didn't even look at Naruto, he just answered casually and ran home anxiously. And Sasuke saw the expression on Chen's face, and he felt uneasy for no reason, and unconsciously ran back with Chen, even he himself didn't know why. The two ran outside the door of the Wei clan, and found that the entire clan was quiet. There was no usual noise, and no one was seen. The surroundings were silent, as if there were only the two of them left in the whole world. Both of them were very uneasy, and Chen already knew what was going on in his heart. The two walked to the house uneasy, and suddenly saw two people lying on the ground, their bodies were stained red with blood. Chen and Sasuke ran over to see that it was the two uncles and aunts who greeted them this morning. Uncle, uncle, Sasuke shook his uncle's body tremblingly, but didn't get a response. How could this be? What happened? Sasuke asked Chen anxiously. Chen didn't answer him, but was stunned, muttered, Mom, Mom. Then, like a sudden awakening, he ran to the house like a madman. Mom, Sasuke also suddenly thought, and followed Chen to the house. Along the way, I saw more and more people lying on the ground without making a sound. The usually lively streets were dead silent at this time. The two finally ran to the house, but they didn't see the usual Makoto, not even the lights in the room. Dad, Mom, are you here? Sasuke asked in a low voice, his voice full of fear. The two found it in a bedroom. Suddenly there was a sound in the living room, and Chen and Sasuke ran over immediately. When they came to the door of the living room, both of them were panting with trembling feet, and dared not push the door to go in. Both of them could see the fear in each other's eyes. In the end, Chen still pushed open the door with his trembling hands. The scene inside shocked Chen and Sasuke. I saw Uchiha Fuyu and Uchiha Makoto both collapsed in a pool of blood, lifeless. Dad, Mom. Sasuke just wanted to run over. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps came from the shadow, making him stop and look at the shadow in horror. And Chen didn't care so much. Dia ran to Makoto's side, without any extra words, just hugged Makoto's already cold body in his arms, tears flashing in his eyes, and his heart was even more grief-stricken. Itachi, dressed as Anbu, came out of the shadows and looked at Sasuke and Chen indifferently. P.S. Although there are still a lot of plots ahead, including the water stop. After thinking about it, I still didn't write it. After all, everyone who has seen Hokage knows it, so there is no need to write it up. In addition, I would like to thank Ludawang for his friendly cameo, aha. Group 475,137,322. If you like The Watcher, you can join the group to discuss and make comments. The kittens will be very welcome. Chapter 11. Night of the Genocide 2. Brother, why did Mom and Dad? Why, how could this happen? Who did it? Sasuke asked Itachi, but what answered him was a shuriken that slid across his shoulder and nailed to the wall behind him. Brother, why? Sasuke hugged his injured shoulder and looked at Itachi in disbelief. What are you doing, brother? Stupid brother. Itachi looked at Sasuke indifferently and slowly closed his eyes. He suddenly opened the kaleidoscope writing wheel eyes. He performed moon reading on Chen and Sasuke. In front of Chen and Sasuke, he showed the process of exterminating the family. Stop, brother, don't let me see. Sasuke held his head and shouted heartbreakingly, why does brother want to? After withdrawing from the moon-reading world, Sasuke slumped on the ground helplessly, his eyes dull. He confronted Itachi and asked, why did my brother do this? To test my abilities, Itachi said calmly, without the slightest emotion in his voice. In order to test the ability, just for this, put everyone. This is very important. Itachi closed his eyes and said indifferently. What? Stop joking Sasuke clenched his fists and roared towards Itachi. But he was punched in the lower abdomen by Itachi and fell to the ground again. And Chen just kept holding Makoto in his arms, crying silently, indifferent to what was happening around him, and didn't say a word since he entered the living room. Lie, it's not my brother, because Sasuke still couldn't believe it. I have always played your ideal brother, just to test your ability. You have the possibility to become my opponent to test your ability. It is because of this that you are alive, and for me. You are also like me. He is one of the kaleidoscope writers with eye-opening eyes, but that requires special conditions. That is, killing his closest friend, just like me. Itachi said indifferently to Sasuke and Chen. Really, brother? Brother killed Mr. Shisui. Yes, that's why I got this ability. Itachi continued. The main hall of Nanga Shrine, under the 7th tatami mat from the right, is the family's secret gathering place. There is a record of the Uchiha clan's eye surgery originally, and the real secret of existence. If you open your eyes, including me, there will be 4 people who have mastered the kaleidoscope writing wheel. In this way, there is a meaning for you to live. But now, you did not let me kill at all. Silly brother, if you want to kill me, hate, and live ugly. Keep running away, as long as you live, as long as you can. Then one day, when you have an eye, if you have the same ability, come and find me. After Itachi finished speaking, he launched his kaleidoscope at Sasuke and Chen. Both of them fell unconscious on the ground after suffering from Itachi's illusion. Just after the two passed out, the space around Itachi distorted, and then a man with a vortex mask and a black cloak appeared. Have you dealt with it? Said the masked man. Itachi didn't answer, just looked at Sasuke and Chen on the ground with complicated eyes. In that case, we should go. The masked man didn't say much, and put his hand on Itachi's shoulder. The space where the two were distorted and spiraled for a while, and then slowly shrank until it disappeared, as if just now no one has ever stood there. The room fell silent for a while, as if nothing had happened just now. The dividing line. Chen, wake up. Mom. Chen slowly opened his tired eyes and found that Makoto was smiling at him not far in front of him. Chen, take care of yourself in the future. Mom is leaving, Makoto said to Chen with a doting smile. Leave? Is Mom leaving us? Where are you going? Chen asked Makoto anxiously. Take care of yourself and Sasuke. Makoto didn't answer Chen, but said the same thing to him with a smile, then turned around and left. Mom. Chen chased after Makoto's back, but no matter how hard Chen tried, she couldn't catch up, so she could only watch Makoto's back getting further and further away until she disappeared. Mom. On the bed of Konoha Hospital, Chen suddenly opened his eyes, sat up in shock, gasping for breath, sweating all over his body. His white eyes were blood red, and the 3 seduces were evenly seduced. The branch is on the pupil, and the eyes are full of horror. Is it a dream? After Chen took a few deep breaths, his emotions slowly calmed down, and the writing wheel eyes in his eyes were also lifted, turning into ordinary eyes. Chen got out of bed and looked around, and found himself in an unfamiliar room. This is a hospital. Why am I in a hospital? Chen wondered. Suddenly, Chen's head suffered a sharp pain, and pictures appeared in his mind: the clan's land, the corpse, the living room, the blood, and Makoto lying in a pool of blood. Chen wailed while holding his head in pain. This is a dream. This is not real. This is not real, Mom. Chen Cheng endured the severe pain in his head, struggled to get up and opened it. The door of the ward ran out. Chen ran in the corridor and met Sasuke. At this time, Sasuke was leaning against the wall, clenching his teeth and clenching his fists. Chen Nang could vaguely hear 2 nurses discussing something. But Chen didn't pay attention to this, and ran outside the hospital in a diametrical manner. He felt that Sasuke seemed to be following, and he seemed to hear the voices of 2 nurses telling him that he couldn't go out, but these had nothing to do with Chen. He just wants to leave here right now, leave this ghost place, return to the Uchiha clan, and return to the familiar home. Then he heard Makoto smile and say to him in a gentle voice, Chen is back, I can eat right away. However, after Chen ran back to the gate of the Uchiha clan with all his strength, the trace of luck in his heart was torn apart by the cruel reality. At this time, the Uchiha clan had already been pulled up by the warning belts that read the entry prohibition, but the streets that used to be lively in the past were now depressed, and there was no trace of anger. Chen weakly knelt in front of the gate of the Uchiha clan, holding the ground tightly with both hands, tears flowing from the closed eyes unstoppably, dripping down Chen's cheeks on the ground, feeling as if in his heart. Knife twist. It's so uncomfortable, why? My heart is so painful. Didn't I already know that this day would come? Didn't I know the result long ago? Why is it still like this? It's clear that I won't have feelings for this family, don't let it go. After experiencing that kind of pain, why am I still so uncomfortable? So painful. Chen raised a hand, clutching his chest and muttering in grief. Makoto's dribs and drabs appeared in her mind, her gentle and graceful smiling face, and her pampering eyes. She always greeted her with a gentle tone, and took care of her meticulously. All these scenes appeared in Chen's mind, and Chen realized that he had been deceiving himself all the time. He didn't have the indifference and indifference he imagined, and he had already become dependent on Makoto in his heart. Ah tilde, Chen wailed in pain, as if torn apart. In my heart, I felt even more regret, and I hated myself, and regretted why I never had a good chat with Makoto, why I never let her hug me once. I hate myself even more, why I always treat her indifferently, and why I interrupt her indifferently every time she wants to have a good chat with me. And even though she treats her like this, she still loves and spoils herself as always. He has hurt her again and again. At this moment, Chen was extremely remorseful, how he wished Makoto could stand in front of him, so he let himself kneel and say to her, "I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry, I was wrong." He confessed to her and told her that he shouldn't. She pretended to be indifferent and told her that she loved her. However, there was no chance, it was too late. "Ah Mom, sorry, forgive me, I was wrong. I knew it was wrong. Forgive me, Mom tilde." Chen used all his strength to shout sadly to the sky. At this time, as if it was a punishment for Chen, a heavy rain suddenly fell in the sky. Chen didn't mean to stand up at all, just kneeling in the rain, crying in pain, tears mixed with the rain and washed to the ground. In the end, Chen, who was exhausted, fainted directly on the rainy ground. And Sasuke, who followed up just now, looked at Chen, who was repenting in the rain and finally fainted. The heart is also extremely sad, although the two are usually at odds, but after all, they are the brothers of the same mother, not to mention that there are only 3 of them left in Uchiha, and one of them wants to kill no matter what. People. Grinning his teeth and clenching his hands tightly, the resentment towards Itachi in his heart has reached its peak. In the end, Sasuke still walked to Chen's side, strenuously put Chen on his back, and then walked to the hospital step by step with gritted teeth. P.S. Ask for flowers, ask for collection. Chapter 12. Chen being watched. Sasuke handed over Chen back to the hospital with great effort, and then walked back to the clan alone. Walking on the deserted street, letting the cold rain hit him, looking at the familiar place, Sasuke seemed to hear the uncle and aunt in the clan greet him kindly. Back at the previous home, looking at everything familiar, the bits and pieces at home came to mind. Thinking of Uchiha Makoto's doting, every time I go home, I see Makoto preparing the meal. Every time she was injured while practicing, Makoto would gently apply medicine to herself. Think of Uchiha Fugaku's sternness. Thinking that he and Chen had always been disliked by each other, Makoto always smiled and persuaded each time she and Chen stared at each other. But he kept asking her why she always turned to Chen. Hehe, Chen is Chen, Sasuke is Sasuke, mommy always cares about you. Makoto always answered with a smile. Thinking of this, a smile appeared on Sasuke's face. The main hall of Nenga Shrine, under the 7th tatami from the right is the family's secret gathering place. There is a record of the real secret of why the Uchiha clan's pupil technique originally existed. Itachi suddenly came to mind. Of this sentence, the face that made Sasuke smile a little because of the memories immediately turned cold again. Is it the main hall of Nenga Shrine? Sasuke muttered and walked towards the direction of Nenga Shrine. After Sasuke came to the main hall of Nenga's shrine, after removing the 7th tatami, he found that the wooden board under the tatami was a secret door that could move. After opening the secret door, he found that there were steps inside. Sasuke walked down the stairs and came to a secret room. After entering, he found that there was a rectangular table in the middle of the secret room, with 2 rows of chairs neatly placed on both sides of the table. This is a conference room, a secret conference room hidden underground. On the back wall of the main position of the rectangular table, there is a stone tablet. Sasuke walked to the stone tablet and looked at the contents recorded on the stone tablet. So that's it, is that so? Then he walked out of the secret room. The next day, Sasuke went to the ninja school as usual. Walking on the streets of Konoha, he could always see civilians with Konoha whispering to the family emblem on the back of his clothes. Look at the logo on that kid's clothes, it's Uchiha's. Have you heard? The wealthy Uchiha clan were all killed yesterday. Of course I have heard of such a big thing, and I have also heard that it was done by one of their own clansmen. What? How is it possible that one person can kill everyone in that wealthy family in Uchiha? Who is so powerful? I heard that the murderer is also from the Uchiha family. It seems to be called Uchiha Itachi. He is a genius of the Uchiha family and the child of the head of the Uchiha family. Sasuke heard the comments of the commoners and ignored them. He lowered his head and walked away. When he came to the classroom, Sasuke could still feel the strange eyes of other students. Sasuke, are you alright? As soon as he sat on the seat, Sakura leaned over and asked Sasuke with concern. But Sasuke didn't appreciate it, instead he looked at her indifferently and lay down on the table. Sasuke, Sakura wanted to say something. Shut up, you're annoying. Sasuke raised his head and stared at Sakura coldly. Sakura was so frightened that he didn't dare to say anything, so he could only look at Sasuke aggrieved. At this time, Ino and Xiaojing also came over, and both of them asked Sasuke worriedly, Sasuke, where is Chenjin? What's wrong with him? Why didn't he come to school? I don't know, don't bother me anymore. Sasuke didn't turn his head back, and just lay down on the table again. But don't you two live together? Why don't you know, is there something wrong with Chenjin? Ino asked Sasuke worriedly. I said it, I don't know, if you are annoying or not, get out of the way. Sasuke angrily shouted at Ino and Xiaojing. That guy, who will care about him, don't bother me again. Looking at Sasuke who was angry at this time, Ino and Koi finally didn't say anything else, but went to the side to discuss together and went to find Chen after school. After that, Iruka came to the classroom as usual. Iruka didn't say anything about Chen's absence from the school. At this time in Konoha's hospital, Chen, who was lying on the bed, had already woken up, staring blankly at the ceiling of the ward for a long time. During this period, a nurse came to bring him food, but he never heeded the nurse's advice and didn't get up to eat. He just kept staring at the ceiling, saying anything, and no one knew what he was thinking. What? In the end, seeing that no matter how persuaded Chen was still indifferent, the nurse really had no choice but to retreat helplessly. I must take revenge, I must take revenge. Chen, who had read the original book, knew the truth about the extermination of the clan. Although Uchiha took the blame for it all, it could have been avoided. Because in the original work, Sandai and Itachi have been trying to negotiate with Uchiha, and Uchiha Shisui has already planned to use other gods on the leader of the Uchiha Rebellion to stop the Uchiha Rebellion. Uchiha Shisui, nicknamed, Stopping the Water in an Instant. Its unique illusion, Beyond God, can manipulate others at will without knowing it, and permanently change people's will, which is called, The Strongest Illusion, by Itachi Uchiha. Danzo has always insisted on destroying Uchiha, and seized Shisui's right eye on the grounds that he did not trust Shisui, who was also a member of the Uchiha clan. In order to prevent the left eye from falling into his hands, and to protect the name of Uchiha, Shisui gave the left eye to Itachi, instructing Itachi to use it peacefully, to stop the Uchiha coup, and to let Itachi keep his affairs secret. Afterwards, in order to prevent others from causing a fight to snatch his eyes, he pretended to destroy his eyes and committed suicide by throwing himself in the Nanhi River. So all this was caused by Danzo and the elders, and Itachi was only persecuted, so Chen didn't resent Itachi like Sasuke did. The elders of Konoha, and Danzo, I will definitely let you pay your debts with blood. Chen shouted resentfully in his heart. If you want to take revenge, you need to have enough strength, and in this regard, I have a strong system, so I don't need to worry. But to improve strength, you need to have enough points, and several ways to get points are to do tasks and kill enemy and treasure recovery. If I don't have treasure, this will not work. And it is impossible to kill people in Konoha, so this one will not work. There is also a system that has never released a task, probably because it is in Konoha. It is too comfortable, and there are no tasks to do. Therefore, none of these three works. The only source of points for Chen now is the 3 points that the novice fully gives every day. But this is just a drop in the bucket, far from enough. And this novice fully only lasted for 3 years, and now it has been 2 years, and after 1 year, there will be no more points. Chen is also very distressed at this time. I must escape Konoha as soon as possible, otherwise it will never be possible. Become stronger, Chen said firmly in his heart. System, check my points. Answer to the host, the remaining points of the host, 2748. Would you like to open the exchange interface? The cold voice of the system sounded. Open Chidori's exchange interface. Chen instructed the system. Chidori, item type, skill, item level, a grade, need to exchange points. 5,000, the host points are insufficient and cannot be exchanged. 5,000 points for A-level skills. It's very expensive. In addition to the 3-armed ninjutsu, the only ones that can be offensive are the finger gun and the fireball, and these 2 skills are not very lethal. My current points are 2,748, and after a year, I should have almost 3,800 points. Then I can find a way to get more points to exchange for stronger skills. Chen thought about it in his heart. Ding! Remind the host. The host is being monitored at this time. Do you want to transmit the monitor's image to the host? The cold voice of the system sounded. What? I'm being monitored, who is it? Chen was very surprised at this time. Now he's just an 8-year-old child. How could anyone monitor him? Send me the image, Chen ordered to the system. Ding! The image has been sent. Suddenly, a picture appeared in Chen's mind. On the trunk of a tree outside his ward, a ninja dressed as Anbu was lying on his face. At this time, the ninja used camouflage and was integrated with the trunk. No one could find him at all. Who is this? Looking at the costume, I think it is Anbu of Hokage, but why did Hokage send someone to spy on me? It shouldn't be, Chen thought doubtfully in his heart. Wait, these 3 generations have no reason to send people to monitor me. Since it's not the Anbu of Hokage, there is only one possibility left, and that is the root affiliated to Danzo. Thinking of Danzo, Chen's heart was filled with resentment, and the hand under the quilt was tightly held, trying to endure it. Why did Danzo send people to monitor me? Is it to cut down the grass and get rid of the roots and find an opportunity to kill me? Chen thought to himself, if you wanted to kill me, you would have already done it, and there is no need to monitor me so troublesome. Not to kill me, then what is it for? Is it? Chen guessed a possibility. P.S. It's still an old saying, ask for collections, ask for flowers. Chapter 13. Oppression at Night. Okay, that's all for today, everyone, let's get out of school. Uruka said to the students below after finishing the lesson plan on the podium. Ah, school is over. Shikamaru, let's go to the snack shop together. After seeing Uruka walk out of the classroom, Choji Akishima said to Shikamaru next to him. Well, don't go, don't go. Your mother is kind, and you are so happy. It would be very troublesome for my mother to know that I was buying snacks. Sasuke frowned unhappily after hearing the conversation between Dingji and Shikamaru. Just as he was about to leave the classroom, Sakura came to him and said to him expectantly, Hey! Sasuke, let's go together after school. Not interested. Sasuke glanced at Sakura, replied indifferently to her, and left by himself. Hey, Sakura, Sakura, let me go with you. At this time, Naruto leaned over with a mean smile. You give me death. Sakura turned back and gave Naruto a punch, directly punching Naruto to the point of a lump on his head. Nice job, damn Naruto deserves a beating. Another personality in Sakura's mind shouted arrogantly. After that, the students in the classroom all left one by one and went back to their respective homes. After school, Sasuke did not go home, but came to a forest behind the former Uchiha clan, and began to do the training that he did every day. By the way, this forest is where his brother Uchiha Chen used to train, and now it has become Sasuke's training ground. At this time, Sasuke was sweating and panting heavily, staring at a few wooden stakes not far in front of him, which were already full of shuriken. Sasuke has been obsessed with the pursuit of power since the massacre on the night of the genocide. He knew that if he wanted to take revenge on Uchiha Itachi, he must have enough strength, and now he is too weak, too weak. He was so weak that he didn't even bother to kill him. The current Uchiha Itachi has long been listed by Konoha as an S-level traitor and wanted by Konoha. I am afraid that its strength has already reached the shadow level. With Sasuke's current strength that is not even a shinobi, it is undoubtedly a fantasy to seek revenge for Uchiha Itachi. I will kill you, I will kill you. At the thought of Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke's body that had collapsed seemed to be injected with strength. His hands quickly formed one after another seal, and then spewed out a flame at the stakes. Fire done. How fireball technique. Sasuke looked at the burning stake in front of him. His whole body was instantly drained, and he lay directly on the ground. His body rose and fell with sharp breathing, proving that he was still alive at this time. After a short rest, Sasuke dragged his exhausted body back to the house, and it was already night. At this moment, a person suddenly appeared not far from Sasuke's eyes without warning, staring at him. Who is it? Sasuke was taken aback immediately, and he asked cautiously, taking on a fighting stance towards the man. He was actually silently appearing in front of him without being discovered. If it was an enemy. Thinking of this, Sasuke was shocked into a cold sweat. I saw the person in front of Sasuke, dressed in Anbu's costume, with a ridiculous cat mask on his face, looking very funny. However, Sasuke felt an unprecedented sense of oppression from him, a sense of oppression that even Sasuke had never felt from the Chunin teacher at the ninja school. Sasuke Uchiha, an adult wants to see you, come with me. At this time, the mysterious man standing in front of Sasuke said to Sasuke, and there was no emotion in his voice. Want to see me? Not interested. Although Sasuke was curious about who wanted to see him, he still rejected the mysterious man with disdain. It's up to you, the mysterious man said with a strong murderous aura. This is. Sasuke was so overwhelmed by the strong murderous aura that he couldn't move at all. In this strong murderous aura, Sasuke felt like a lonely boat in the turbulent waves, and would be swallowed up by the monstrous waves at any time. But, damn, am I going to die? Just when Sasuke thought he was going to be killed, the mysterious man withdrew his murderous intent towards Sasuke. Don't try to make unnecessary struggles anymore. I don't want to waste any more time, just follow me. The mysterious man's cold voice sounded again. Speaking of a teleportation technique, he instantly appeared in front of Sasuke. Just when the mysterious man just stretched out his hand to lift Sasuke, there was a sudden sound of breaking through the air, and 3 cold beams shot towards the mysterious man. The mysterious man was startled, launched the teleportation technique again, and avoided it. Do. The 3 shuriken were nailed to the position of the mysterious man just now. Sasuke looked around and found that there were suddenly more characters dressed in the same clothes as the mysterious man. The few people who just appeared were standing scattered on some branches at this time, forming a circle around Sasuke and the mysterious person before. It's Anbu, what do you mean? Why do you intervene in our root department? The mysterious man from before asked a few people who had just appeared. We don't care about the root department, we are just following the orders of Hokage-sama. One of the people who just appeared looked like a captain or something, facing the mysterious person before, that is, the person who called himself Root, said, "At the order of Hokage-sama, take Sasuke Uchiha away." Huh, Sasuke Uchiha? No, that's the person we adults want. You can't take it away. The Root person said warily to the Anbu person. What? Are you going to disobey Hokage-sama's orders? Or is your Root going to betray? Do ain't dare. Hearing the captain of Anbu say so, the people of Gen had to make concessions. The Root department is under the jurisdiction of Danzo, which is equivalent to Danzo's private soldiers. The ninjas in it only obey the orders of Danzo. But on the bright side, Hokage is the highest leader of Konoha. The people of the Root group did not dare to blatantly disobey Hokage's orders, unless they actually rebelled as Anbu said. And at this time, Anbu's number is dominant, and it is really unwise to want to be strong. Although the members of the Root group are the elites of various blood and secret arts families, their strength may be slightly stronger than that of Anbu, but Anbu is not a vegetarian. Anbu, the full name of the Assassination Tactics Special Unit, Anbu is composed of excellent ninjas selected from the village. All team members are proficient in body structure and understand the weaknesses of the human body. In order to distinguish Anbu from normal ninjas and hide their true identities, the members wear white porcelain masks. In addition, they also have a standard uniform, black shorts, gray protective clothing, upper arms, and tattoos with spiral marks on the arms. Sometimes the members of the Dark Army will also wear a cloak on the body. The cloak of the dark part is black, and the cloak of the original Root members is white. Unlike ordinary ninjas, each Anbu will be equipped with a ninja sword and tied to his back. In order to protect the ninja village, he must let himself die without leaving a corpse. Anbu's job is mainly responsible for protecting the safety of the Shadow and Ninja village, performing high-risk missions such as espionage or assassination in enemy countries, and missions that may involve confrontation with S-rank ninjas. Since Anbu directly belongs to the Shadow, the work is also directly assigned by the Shadow, and the nature of the task and all other information are kept confidential, and all actions and achievements will not be made public. The Root people are not arrogant enough to think that they can kidnap Sasuke Uchiha at the hands of several Anbu members. Besides, the people of Anbu have made their words clear, and if they still do it, it is equivalent to disobeying Hokage's order, which is equivalent to betraying the village. Therefore, the people in the Root department wisely took a step back. That's good, said the captain of Anbu. Since that's the case, I'll go back and return to my life. The people from the Root department said that they activated the instant body technique and disappeared into the night. Sasuke Uchiha, you can go. Also, don't tell anyone what happened tonight. After the Root people disappeared, the captain of Anbu warned Sasuke. In fact, the order they received was not to take Sasuke away, but to ensure that Sasuke Uchiha would not be taken away by the Root people. Mission completed, withdraw. Then everyone in Anbu disappeared into the night, and only Sasuke stayed in place. Damn. After everyone left, Sasuke fell to his knees on the ground and kept hitting the ground with his fists. The blow to him tonight was too great, and he never thought that he would be so insignificant. When facing the Root ninja, the other party just released the murderous aura, and he was so oppressed that he couldn't move, and he couldn't have the slightest idea of resistance. In front of these two people, he is completely a sheep to be slaughtered, and there is no room for resistance at all. Damn, how can I kill him like this? How can I get revenge? Sasuke's eyes filled with painful tears. No, I have to take revenge, I have to kill him. Sasuke's face suddenly became hideous, and he shouted in his heart, "Be stronger, I want to be stronger, I need strength, as long as I can get strength, I am willing to give at any price, even selling your soul to the devil." At this time, Sasuke's desire for power has reached an unprecedented level. P.S. Ask for collection, ask for flowers. Well, of course, if you can, ask for a reward. Chapter 14. Conversation in the Naruto Tower. The members of the Root department who had just left the woods came to a secret base. This is the base camp of Danzo, the headquarters of Root. Sir, the mission failed. At this time, the Root person was half kneeling in front of a desk and said to an old man in a kimono sitting behind the desk. This old man is Danzo, the leader of the Gen department. Danzo was looking at the information in his hand at this time, and asked without raising his head, failed. You, an elite Junin, failed to take away a child who couldn't even bear it. What's going on? Sir, it's from Anbu. The people from Anbu took Sasuke Uchiha away under Hokage-sama's order. The elite knelt down on the ground answered truthfully. Huh, someone from Anbu. Danzo clicked down the document in his hand and raised his head to look at the elite Junin on the ground. Now Danzo has had a water-stopping eye transplanted, which is wrapped around his forehead with a bandage, covering his entire right eye. If that's the case, you should step back first. Danzo instructed the elite Junin on the ground. Yes, my lord. The elite Junin, who was half kneeling on the ground, replied, and then retreated. Humph. Sarutobi, do you still want to protect that Uchiha's remnant? It seems that you have to go there yourself. At the same time, a similar thing happened in Hokage's office building. Lord Hokage, the mission is complete, Sasuke Uchiha is safe and sound. Several members of Anbu were half kneeling on the ground and said to the 3 generations who were correcting documents. Well, that's fine, you guys go back first. Yes, Anbu replied, and then all withdrew. After Anbu had left, Sandai Hokage put down the document in his hand, picked up the pipe on the table, walked to the window of the office building, and looked at the village outside. Itachi, I am really sorry, I can only help you here. At this time, there was a knock on the door outside. Come in. After Sandai agreed, the door was pushed open and a ninja walked in. Lord Sandai, it is very late, you should go back. The ninja said respectfully to Sandai. Well, wait. Sandai looked at the village outside the window and said without looking back. Sir, what are you waiting for? The ninja asked curiously. I'm waiting for someone, all right, don't worry about me, go back. Sandai waved his hand and told the ninja to step back. Yes, Lord Sandai, I'll take my leave first. The ninja saluted Sandai and stepped back. Not long after the ninja left, the office door was opened again without knocking. There was a sound of footsteps behind the 3 generations. You're here, Danzo. The 3rd generation with a pipe in his mouth turned around and looked at the person who came. This person is Shimura Danzo, a student of the 2nd generation Hokage Senju Tobarama, who is the same as the 3rd generation. You know I'm coming. Shimura Danzo narrowed his eyes and said to Sandai. Yes, I am the person who knows you best, and I knew you would come after my Anbu came back. Sandai said calmly, looking at Danzo. Why did you send someone to stop me? Danzo asked Sandai. Then tell me, why did you have to take Sasuke Uchiha away? Sandai took a cigarette and looked at the Danzo. HMPH, I said as early as a year ago that Uchiha is too dangerous to let too many Uchihas get out of control. And I also said at the time, I can let go of those 2 Uchihas, but I must let one of them enter the Root department. Danzo said. Oh, if that's the case, I'll have someone send Uchiha-chan to your Root department tomorrow. How's it going? Enough Sarutobi, what I want is Sasuke Uchiha, not that idiot Uchiha-chan. As you know, the Uchiha family has only 2 children left, Sasuke Uchiha and Chen Uchiha. Since the Uchiha massacre a year ago, Chen Uchiha has suffered a serious mental blow. It has become a fool who can't even take care of his own life is basically a waste. The 3 generations said while smoking a cigarette, so Uchiha Sasuke is the only one left in the Uchiha family. If Uchiha Sasuke has any advantages and disadvantages if so, Itachi won't let it go, you should know very well. What kind of tricks can a mere betrayal and forbearance come up with? Danzo was a little disdainful. Whether it's betrayal or not, you know in your heart. Besides, Itachi has some secrets of Konoha in his hands. If it is revealed by Itachi, you know the consequences. Humph, he shouldn't have left alive in the first place. Danzang said bitterly. That's impossible, such a big thing must have a person to bear the guilt. And don't forget, Itachi has a kaleidoscope. The teacher once told us the horror of these eyes, you won't forgot. Kaleidoscope writing wheel eye. A trace of greed flashed in Danzang's eyes. As for the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye, of course he understands that Uchiha Shisui's right eye has already been transplanted to him. Are you just protecting that Uchiha's remnant like that? Danzo still didn't give up. I did this for the sake of the village. In short, no matter what, Sasuke Uchiha will never let you take him away. As for Chen Uchiha, I can give him to you. In the eyes of the 3 generations, Chen Uchiha is already a waste. There is no value in using it, throwing him to Danzo is just enough to block Danzo. Humph, that trash, I don't need it. If that's the case, then this is the end of the matter. Well, I'm tired, so I'll go first. Sandai said and was about to leave. Sarutobi, I hope you won't regret what you did today in the future. The 3 generations stopped when they heard Danzo's words, and finally ignored Danzo and left. The dividing line. At this time, Sasuke, who had just experienced a thrilling experience, returned home. Seeing the cold look at home, he unconsciously clenched his fists. In the end, he reluctantly let go and went into the kitchen to cook by himself. Sasuke cooked a meal for 2 people. After finishing it, he brought a meal into a room. There was only a low table and a tatami in the room. There was a person lying on the tatami, and that person was still there. Cover yourself with a quilt. Sasuke put the food in his hand on the table in the room, glanced at the arched quilt with complicated eyes, then walked out of the room, closed the door, and went back to the living room to eat by himself. After hearing Sasuke close the door, the quilt on the tatami moved, and then saw a head pop out of the quilt. It is Uchiha Chen. At this time, Chen Yilu sat up, and then crawled over to the food that Sasuke brought in. He was still muttering, I have eaten, and Sasuke finally delivered food to the baby, and the baby is starving to death. Sasuke, who was eating in the living room, heard these words, his face was instantly covered with black lines, and he finally sighed. Unexpectedly, the indifferent Chen in the past has become like this, the world is unpredictable. The 2 never got along before, but since the tragedy happened a year ago, Chen confessed to Makoto in front of the Uchiha clan and finally passed out crying. Sasuke sent him to the hospital. Unexpectedly, after the 2nd day, Chen turned into what he is now. Hearing from the doctor, he may have been hit too hard. In short, he has become an idiot. The whole person's IQ is only 1 year old, and he can't take care of himself in life. Although Chen could be sent to the orphanage, Sasuke was still worried about Chen, for fear that he would be bullied in the orphanage alone. No way, in the end Sasuke took Chen back home and took care of his daily life by himself. Although the 2 were at odds with each other, they were brothers after all, and they were the only relatives left. At this moment, Chen, who was eating in the house, suddenly stopped what he was doing because he heard a sound. An ice-cold machine, without the slightest emotion, said, ding. The host's monitoring status has been eliminated. Chen Shuang was full of surprise at this time, completely different from the dull expression just now. What did you say? Do you mean that the person monitoring me has left? Chen asked the system in his heart. Yes, there is no person or thing monitoring the host around the host now. The system replied. Finally, have you finally withdrawn? Chen's expression became a little excited at this time. It's been a year, I have been careful all the time this year. In order not to reveal flaws, this year I didn't even go out of the house. I didn't expect Danzo to be so suspicious and to send someone to stare at me for a whole year. It turned out that Chen did not really become an idiot. He has been pretending all year, just to be able to deceive Danzo. This matter has to start from a year ago. A year ago, when Chen was in the hospital, he received a prompt from the system. He was being monitored, and as for the person monitoring him, Chen guessed that it was sent by Danzang. He had thought about the reason. In the original work, the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobarama has always been very prejudiced towards Uchiha. Therefore, as a second-generation student Shimura Danzo, influenced by the second generation, he is also very afraid of Uchiha. Although Uchiha has been exterminated and there are only 3 people left, because Uchiha's blood follower potential is too powerful, careerists like Danzo must not allow too many such existences to escape his control. He may catch one of Chen and Sasuke into the root department to control it. Although this was just Chen's guess, he still didn't dare to take the risk, so he thought of pretending to be an idiot and planning to fool around. I just didn't expect that Danzo was so suspicious. Even though he had pretended to be an idiot, he still sent someone to monitor him. This monitoring lasted for a year. This year, Chen has been miserable. He didn't dare to go out without talking, and he pretended to be an idiot every day. Moreover, one outfit lasts a year, and I have to be very careful that I will reveal something. Every day, my nerves are tense, and Chen is about to collapse. If the time is a little longer, Chen believes that he will really go crazy. Well now, the person who was watching him has finally withdrawn, and Chen suddenly felt like he was reincarnated. P.S. Ask for flowers, ask for collection. Chapter 15. Mysterious Cave in the Woods. The next day, after Sasuke went to school, Chen immediately jumped up from the tatami. A person was so excited that he flipped somersaults in the room, doing all kinds of teasing behaviors, and even more so, he even twisted Yanko. You're my little one. Little apple, I can't love you too much. Due to being suppressed for too long, Chen's nerves are no longer normal. At this time, Chen is venting the grievances accumulated over the past year. Forgive his teasing behavior. Wait, now is not the time to commit to. Chen stopped his teasing behavior. Too complacent, Chen said reproachfully. I haven't practiced for a year, and my physical fitness and strength have deteriorated a little. I'm actually a little fat. Chen squeezed his arm and complained. Indeed, Chen hadn't practiced cultivation at all in the past year. All day long, he sleeps when he is full, eats when he wakes up, and is raised by Sasuke like a pig. Without exercising, it is inevitable to gain weight. There is no cultivation, so there is no improvement in strength, but there are still signs of regression. System, how many points do I have in total? Chen asked the system. Answer to the host, the remaining points of the host are 3,843. Would you like to open the exchange interface? The cold voice of the system sounded. Chen's novice gift package expired half a month ago, so the current system does not provide him with novice blessings anymore. In other words, Chen has now lost the only way to get points in his current state. I don't need it for the time being. Don't I have another chance to draw a lottery? Can I still draw a lottery now? Chen asked nervously. The novice gift package provided by the system is to receive 3 points every day and a once-a-year lucky draw. Chen has already drawn twice, and there was another one, but since Chen was being monitored by Danzang at that time, he was afraid that something strange would happen during the lottery, and Danzang would notice it. So I never dared to use that lottery opportunity, and I don't know if the system has reserved his chance to draw. The host has accumulated lottery draws. One time, do you want to start the lottery? The system's emotionless voice sounded. Although the system's voice was very indifferent, it was so pleasant to hear in Chen. Accumulating the number of lottery draws means that the lottery can be accumulated. It's okay, it's okay. As long as the lottery can be drawn. Chen finally breathed a sigh of relief, then said to the system, System, I want to start the lottery. Ding. Does the host use a lottery chance to draw a lottery? Yes, Chen confirmed with the system. In the last few lottery draws, he had won 2 of the 6 moves, namely the spear and the moon step, and he once again won the Poodle's Psychic Beast Scroll. Very useful thing. I don't know what will be drawn this time. At this time, Chen is looking forward to this lottery. Start the lottery. The mechanical voice of the system sounded. Ding. Congratulations to the host for winning ninjutsu, Chidori. Alas, I was already unable to complain, but a warm current poured into Chen's body and a message appeared in Chen's mind. Chidori, with an A-level difficulty, belongs to Thunder Ninjutsu. Concentrate a large amount of chakra on the hand to form a high-intensity current, dash forward and pierce the enemy, with extremely strong penetrating power. Chen finally mastered the first A-level ninjutsu, and it is also the most commonly used Chidori in the original book. You must know that this ninjutsu is not only powerful, but also very handsome. It is a must-have skill for pretending to be cool. Aha, I was lucky enough to draw Chidori. I originally planned to save the points to exchange, so I saved 12 points. Ha 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 tilde tilde tilde, Chen said excitedly, but he knew Chidori's powerful. Chen, who has obtained a new skill, can't wait to try his power now. But you can't try it here again. Chidori's characteristic is that the noise is too loud, it will definitely disturb other people, and then it will be troublesome. Chen suppressed the impulse in his heart. It's been a long time since I went out, today just go out for a walk and practice in the old woods. Thinking of this, Chen decided to go out. Although it was inevitable to be pointed at, but Chen did not pay attention. In order not to make people suspicious, he still pretended to be timid, stopped and walked, touched here, touched there. Then he smirked again, and dawdled to act like a fool, and finally let him come to the forest where he had been practicing before. What the hell, it's finally here. These days, even being an idiot requires skills. It's too difficult. Chen, who was walking in the woods, complained helplessly. Huh, how can there be a shuriken here? Chen picked up a shuriken on the road, and said doubtfully, someone has been here. So it's not safe here, so go inside first and have a look. Quote. Chen came to the depths of the woods, the open space where he used to do his training. I saw a few charred wooden stakes there, and there were shurikens scattered around them. Hey, it looks like someone is already cultivating here. This time, the practice space has been occupied. What should I do? Chen felt a little troublesome. After all, someone has already discovered this place and is still doing training here, which means that Chen can no longer practice here, because his secrets will be exposed at any time. But what he didn't know was that the person who practiced here was his own brother, Sasuke Uchiha. The two are worthy of being twin brothers, and the place to practice has been chosen unconsciously. Forget it, since someone has already occupied it, let's find another place. Let's go deeper and take a look. Chen said and walked deeper into the woods. I haven't been to the depths of this wood yet, so I don't know what's going on inside. Chen thought while walking, but it's still in Konoha no matter what, so there shouldn't be any danger. Besides, although my strength is not strong, if I encounter danger, I can still run away. I still have a moon step. Thinking of this, Chen had nothing to worry about, and kept walking towards the depths of the woods. What is that? Chen, who was walking in the woods, suddenly found a very strange place, and when he walked over, he found that a range of land was deeply sunk in this place, which formed a sharp contrast with the surrounding land. It looks like a collapsed cave. Is this a cave? It's far away from the outside, and this place is so hidden. If I don't look for it carefully, it's really not that easy to find. If this is really a cave, I should cultivate in it. No one will find out, let's dig and dig first. Chen said and moved his hands. Oh, it's too slow and laborious to dig by yourself, you have to find some coolies. Chen dug a few times before he suddenly realized that digging by himself was too inefficient, so he thought of looking for help. After Chen put his thumb in his mouth and bit it, he quickly made a few handprints and pressed it on the ground. Spirituality. Bang! A white fog suddenly appeared where Chen was standing, and after the white fog disappeared, a monster more than 10 meters high was revealed. This monster is standing, looks like a lion, but has a shadow of a dog. He is covered in armor, with 3 curved arm blades on the wrist of his left hand, and a giant scimitar in his right hand. Pulling the wind, especially the monster's right eye is wearing a blindfold, a vertical scar from the upper and lower sides of the blindfold, which adds a bit of ferocity to it. This is the psychic beast in the psychic scroll that Chen had drawn in the last lottery, Lu Dao Wang. Today, let me have a good time. The Six-Way Wang shouted its slogan as soon as it came out. Let Chen, who was standing beside it, patted his forehead helplessly. Hey, Erha, can you stop thinking about fighting? Let's see the situation first. Chen was speechless. This is full of fighting violent maniacs. Huh, it's you kid again. This time I called Lao Su out to let me solve some difficult opponent. Where is it? The Six Dao Wang looked around, but found no opponent, and looked at him in confusion. Chen asked. Alas, Erha, I didn't ask you to come out this time to fight. Asshole, since there's no fighting, why did you call Laozi out? Also, Laozi's name is Lu Daowang, it's not Erha, remember it clearly. Next time you dare to call Laozi out, Laozi will chop you up, hum. Lu Daowang said fiercely to Chen, and then wanted to leave. Hey, wait a minute, Erha, help me dig up this place. Chen quickly said to Lu Daowang when he saw that Lu Daowang was about to leave. Huh, little devil, what do you think of Lao Su? How dare you let this uncle dig a hole for you? Do you want to die? Lu Daowang saw that Chen actually asked him to dig a hole, and immediately glared at Chen fiercely. Oh, don't say that. We are good brothers, good brothers. What's the matter of doing me a favor? It's just a hand. If my brother is in trouble, of course it is obligatory to help, right Erha? Chen Jian said with a smile. Wang said with Lu Dao. Next time, I promise you will come out and have a good time next time. How's it going? Hey, I'll help you this time. Remember, you must call me out when there is a battle in the future. Lu Daowang still didn't resist the temptation of the battle. Sure, certainly, I will call you at that time and let you hit 10. Humph. Lu Daowang snorted, then raised the giant machete in his hand and dug down at the place Chen said. With the giant machete, Lu Daowang dug a hole only 3 times. It really is a hole, it's just that the hole outside has collapsed, but the inside of the hole is still fine. Okay Erha, go back first, next time I'll ask you to come out and play 10. Chen said to Lu Daowang. Little devil, remember your words, or I will chop you up. Lu Daowang glared at Chen and threatened, and when he finished speaking, it turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared. Chen ignored Lu Daowang's threat, but looked at the hole. What's in this cave? Go in first and see. Then he walked into the cave. P.S. Ask for collection, ask for flowers. Chapter 16, Orochimaru's Old Laboratory. Looking at the darkness inside the cave, Chen broke a larger trunk from a tree, then tore a piece of cloth from his body and tied it up, then ignited it with a fireball, and wanted to go into the cave and explore. Although curious about this cave, there is always some fear and awe when facing the unknown. So Chen was very vigilant and walked slowly into the cave, worried that something dangerous would suddenly appear, so he was always cautious. The tunnel is about 3 meters high, and it is so spacious that even 3 people walking side by side will not feel crowded. The channel is a bit long, though, and the perimeter looks smooth, not bumpy like a naturally formed hole. This hole is man-made, not naturally formed. What is the purpose of this hole? Is it a refuge for Konoha? That's not right, this hole has obviously not been used for a long time, and the entrance of the hole has collapsed. And the shelter shouldn't be that far from the village. Chen finally came to the end after walking for a while, and did not find anything strange along the way. There's no way. No, this hole is obviously man-made. It can't be that simple. Who would dig such a long tunnel without having enough food? Could there be some kind of trap or secret door? Look for it. For the current situation, Chen naturally thinks of the TV series or novels he watched in his previous life. If there is a situation similar to the current one, the protagonist just needs to bang on the wall or step on a piece of shit for no reason. A strange phenomenon occurs. For example, the wall will be inexplicably open to reveal a passage, or a secret door will suddenly appear. Then the protagonist gets the peerless magic in it, What Juyong Magic, Sunflower Collection, Evil Sword Manual, etc., etc. The protagonist has since practiced a peerless magical power and returned to the rivers and lakes. Then there are all kinds of opening and all kinds of pretending. 1 to 10, no effort. Chen is now imitating the protagonist in the novel to beat on the surrounding walls, but there is no mechanism as expected. Chen could only stop this teasing behavior in frustration, and then kick the wall fiercely. He shouted, "Why are you opening the door?" Then, a strange thing happened. As soon as Zai Chen's voice fell, the wall in front of him slowly opened to both sides, and then a stone ladder appeared and extended down to the ground. Don't complain why, because I don't know why either. I'm slamming. What's the situation? Did I step on some shitty mechanism for no reason? It's bloody, but I like it. Although I don't know what's going on, the important thing is that the door is open. Done. Chen took the torch in his hand and walked along the stone ladder. Fortunately, the stone ladder is not very long, but it took less than half a minute to walk to the outside of a hall. Since it was pitch dark all around, Chen didn't know where this place was. Just vaguely see some bottles and jars, I don't know what they are used for. However, Chen discovered that there was something like a switch beside him, so Chen instinctively thought it was a light switch and pressed it, but it was already pressed when he reflected. Fortunately, it is not a deadly mechanism, but it is really a light switch. The moment Chen pressed the switch, the dark hall was instantly brightly lit. Don't complain about why there are lights, it's set up anyway. After Chen was sure that there was no danger, he walked into the hall and looked around. The hall is quite spacious, but it looks messy. There are also 2 huge cylindrical transparent glass jars placed against the wall, which look like a culture tank for experiments. There is also a shelf on the other side, and there are several small glass jars on the shelf, which should be specimens or the like. On the table, there are also piles of test tubes, some paper and notes. It looks like a laboratory no matter how you look at it. Where is this place? It looks like it should be a laboratory or something. Chen walked to the table, picked up the paper on the table and looked at it. However, what was written above was some terminology and the like, which Chen did not understand. I had to put it aside, and then picked up the notebook next to it and looked at it casually. This notebook seems to be a record of experiments in this laboratory. Chen saw that the notebook was full of experimental records, although Chen did not understand the details of the contents. But seeing the keywords of those experiments, the more you look down, the more frightened you become. From the very first chakra experiment, there are other experiments on the technique of immortality. When it came to researching forbidden techniques, he even discovered human experiments in the end, which was appalling. This kind of situation, I seem to have an impression. Chen suddenly exclaimed, "Excuse me, isn't this the laboratory of Orochimaru's pervert in Konoha?" The more Chen thought about it, the more likely it was. You must know that in Konoha, the only person who likes to experiment is Orochimaru. Although Danzo may also be engaged. However, this experiment is abandoned and should not be Danzo. And the records of these experiments seem to fit Orochimaru. Judging from the records, this should be the laboratory built when Orochimaru first started to contact and research experiments. Maybe it was because the experiments that were done later became bigger and bigger, and finally they even did human experiments and researched forbidden techniques. You know, these experiments are absolutely forbidden in Konoha. Perhaps to be on the safe side, the lab was moved to a more secluded place. And this old laboratory has nothing of value, so I am too lazy to clean it up, and I just use the earth escape to collapse the hole and leave it alone. And it was also said in the original work that -1 Yue Danzo has studied the first-generation cells and the operation of transplanting Sharingan. Maybe Orochimaru at that time transferred all the experiments to the laboratory arranged for him by Danzo, which also explains why there is no record of the primary cells in the notebook. It was because the Orochimaru at that time began to study the first-generation cells when he arrived at Danzo, but it was finally discovered by the third generation for some reason, and finally had to betray the village. Therefore, no one in Konoha knew that Orochimaru still had this laboratory. Maybe Danzo knew, but he didn't take it to heart. After all, at that time, Orochimaru had already transferred all his experiments and research results to the laboratory he prepared for Orochimaru, and there was nothing of value here. Well, this is Uncle Snake's laboratory, isn't there something of value? Look for it. Chen began to rummage through boxes with anticipation, looking for something of value. However, most of the drawings here are some experimental drawings, and Chen can't understand them. It is estimated that it is some useless drafts, which are basically waste products, and have no use value. However, Chen didn't lose heart, and kept rummaging, and finally let him find a scroll. This is. Chen just wanted to open the scroll in confusion. Ding! Found a recyclable skill, do you recycle it? At this time, the system prompted. Recycling skills. Could this be a ninjutsu scroll? What could it be? Chen looked forward to the scroll and opened it. I have developed. Chen jumped up excitedly. Because there is not only one ninjutsu on the scroll, but several ninjutsu. This scroll actually records some ordinary ninjutsu and some ninjutsu created by Orochimaru. Among them, Hidden Shadow Snake Hand, Hidden Shadow Multi-Snake Hand, two snakes killing each other, Software Transformation, Spiritualism, Rashomon, Feng Dun's Great Breakthrough, Destroying Chaos Snakes, Serpent Snakes. These ninjutsus may be just insignificant things in Orochimaru's eyes, so they haven't been dealt with. It just happened to be cheaper for me. Chen was happy, although these ninjutsus are useless to Orochimaru, but for the current Chen, it is simply a pie from the sky. The corners of Chen's mouth were almost grinning to the back of his head, and his saliva was flowing all over the place, not to mention how happy he was. Remind the host that the skills the host has learned are non-recyclable items and cannot be recycled. The system reminded Chen. This is a must. If the learned skills can be recycled, as long as the learned skills are written on the scroll for the system to recycle, Chen will be rich long ago, and there is no need to count the points in the novice gift package. Use. Of course, recyclable skills can only be recycled once, and cannot be recycled multiple times. I knew it would be like this, so let's see what should be learned first, and let the system recycle those that don't need to be learned, or can't be learned. Chen said, looking at the ninjutsu and thinking about which one to learn. Feng Dun, a big breakthrough. This ninjutsu is of the wind attribute, and I still don't have the chakra exchanged for the wind attribute. So this ninjutsu has been recycled by the system. Chen thought to himself as he looked at Feng Dun on the scroll. Chen knew that the system could be exchanged for chakra attributes. Although the destructive power of Feng Dun ninjutsu was very strong, it was not necessary for the current Chen. And the price of chakra attributes is not cheap. Each attribute chakra requires 10,000 points. And some special chakra attributes, such as Crystal Dun, Ice Dun, etc., belong to the blood and follow the limit, and the required points are higher. System, what's the recovery price of the wind tunnel breakthrough? Chen asked the system. Wind Dun, Great Breakthrough, Item Type, Skill, Item Level, C Level, Points to be exchanged. 500, system recycling to get points, 250. The system explained to Chen, if I go, I will directly lose half of the points. The system it's too dark, profiteers. Chen complained at the system. P.S. No one is watching. As the old saying goes, ask for collections, ask for flowers. Chapter 17, The Art of Flying Thunder God. The Hidden Shadow Snake Hand. This ninjutsu is good. You can learn it, and there is an advanced version of the Hidden Shadow Snake Hand. These two are very practical, you must learn. The Hidden Shadow Multi-Snake Hand is a secret technique created by Orochimaru and belongs to the B-level ninjutsu. There are many more snakes than the Hidden Shadow Snake Hand summoned, which improves the variety of ninjutsu. The multiple large snakes summoned in an instant take on tasks such as intimidation, containment, capture, etc., to achieve the effect of multiple combos. The other party has been restrained before he can react. 2 Dun, Earth Clone, Earth Dun, Earth Dragon Bomb. Earth Dun, Earth Flow Wall. 3 Earth Dun ninjutsu can't be learned, so sell it. The Art of Psychic, Rashomon. Good stuff, Chen said with bright eyes when he saw a ninjutsu recorded on the scroll. This Rashomon is an ultra-high-level defensive ninjutsu. This technique was used by Zuo-jin at the end of the first part. Although there was only one gate at that time, the defense was already quite strong, and it blocked the super A-level ninjutsu of Teeth Fangs and Fangs. In the second part, when facing Naruto with 4 tails completely unconscious, Orochimaru channeled the 3 Rashomon to resist Naruto with 4 tails. However, the chakra consumed by this technique is still relatively large, so not everyone can use it. The summoned Mie Rashomon was completely eliminated by Naruto's tailed beast cannon. Moreover, this triple Rashomon is not the limit. In the later plot, the first Hokage recalled using Rashomon when he fought with Madara Uchiha. At that time, it was also in order to resist the tailed beast bullets of the 9 tails, and the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama channeled out of the 5-layer Rashomon. The defense ability is stronger than the triple Rashomon of Orochimaru. What I lack most now is a defensive ninjutsu, and this Rashomon came at the right time. Don't look at the triple Rashomon of Orochimaru in the original book by Naruto and think this technique is garbage. That would be a big mistake. You must know that Naruto at that time used the tailed beast Jade in a state of bursting 4 tails. That kind of destructive power is not something that any ninja can play. The rest can be converted into points, it won't be used anyway. Chen looked at the skills on the scroll, there was nothing worth collecting, so he planned to let the system recycle it. Chen found a working pen in the laboratory, and recorded the 3 ninjutsus on the scroll, the Shulker Snake Hand, the Shulker Snake Hand, and the Psychic Rashomon. Then he said to the system, "System, count all the ninjutsu the scrolls are in, and then recycle them." Ding found 2 A-level ninjutsu, 3 B-level ninjutsu, and 2 C-level ninjutsu. Will they be recovered? Sure. Chen thought about it again, and he really didn't have much to learn, so he answered, "Okay," to the system. Ding. The recovery is successful, the host will get points, 8,500. The system prompts. Haha, I'm rich, I love Uncle Snake. Blah, 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 Demacia. Chen, who had won a huge amount of points for nothing, was incoherently excited. It seems that brother is also the life of the protagonist. You can find this place when you walk around. Not only can you learn a few powerful ninjutsu, but you also get a point. It's so cool. Haha tilde tilde. System, check how many points I have in total. After getting excited, Chen asked the system to check his points. It should be possible to exchange stronger skills now. All points of the host, 12,343. Do you want to open the exchange interface? Well, the offensive skills I know now include Finger Spear, Flamboyant Fireball, and Chidori. And I can learn the Hidden Shadow Snake Hand in the future, which is enough for now. There is no defensive type for the time being, but I will master Luo in the future. I'm a student, so I don't need to exchange it anymore. The auxiliary type has the most basic 3-body technique and moon step, and now there is a lack of a life-saving skill. This time, let's exchange a life-saving skill. Chen thought of a life-saving skill that he now has. None, you must first exchange for a life-saving skill. Life-saving skills, the best thing to do is Obito's avatar, which is directly invincible. But this exchange is definitely not that simple. Judging from the system's urination, it must be said that it is not a kaleidoscope that cannot be exchanged. Go. System, can I exchange for Blur? Although he felt that there was little hope, Chen still asked the system. After all, the Blur skill was too attractive. I didn't see Obito in the original book, so I used this skill to pretend and cheat everywhere. During the 5 Shadows talks, he appeared in a very cool manner, and then after declaring war with a domineering, he left calmly and unscathed. Relying on this virtual skill. This blurring skill is simply a must for coercion. Virtualization, item type, skill, item level, S grade, need to exchange points, 10,000. Note, this skill is a skill derived from the kaleidoscope writing wheel I. You need to have a kaleidoscope writing wheel I to exchange. The host conditions are insufficient, cannot be exchanged. The system, emotionless voice broke Chen's illusion. Hee, I knew you would say that. However, Chen, who had already seen through everything, was not disappointed. Life-saving skills, life-saving skills. Chen muttered in his mouth, thinking constantly in his mind. Suddenly his eyes lit up, and he thought of a very powerful ninjutsu. This ninjutsu is also S rank. It can not only be used to save lives, but also can be used to attack the enemy. System, can I exchange the Flying Thunder God's technique? Chen asked with anticipation, and even more prayed in his heart, if it can be exchanged, it must be exchanged. The Art of Flying Thunder God, Item Type, Skill, Item Level, S Grade, Need to exchange points, 10,000, do you want to exchange? The system's dull voice came, but the words made Chen extremely excited. Exchange, confirm the exchange it for me immediately. Chen said excitedly. Ding, the exchange is successful, the points deducted, 10,000, the remaining points, 2,343. Quote. Warm current again, I saw Nu and Lujun flocking to Chen's tender body again. Chen has mastered this awesome skill, and his heart is even more excited. I finally really have the skill of pressing the bottom of the box, and it is such a powerful skill as Fei Lei Shen. Then, a piece of information appeared in Chen's mind. The technique of Flying Thunder God. This technique is a time-space ninjutsu created by the second generation of Hokage. It uses the technique to achieve teleportation and space jumping. The caster will leave the Flying Thunder God technique where his body can touch. When the enemy's body is left with a spell, it means that the spell that represents death is written on it. Flying Thunder God / second stage, in battle, throw a kunai that has been marked with a spell, and then instantly transfer to the high-speed moving kunai, making the enemy unable to respond and difficult to defend. Spinning Flash Super Wheel Dance and Roar 3 styles. Use the special skills kunai and shadow clones. Use the Flying Thunder God to shuttle through various skills in the area full of kunai, and use high-speed physical skills to attack from multiple positions. Enemy. Time and Space Enchantment. Flying Thunder God is used on the defensive side. Using the spell to open a barrier around it, the attack cast in the enchantment can be transferred to other places with the Flying Thunder God's technique. This is very similar to Shinwei. Time and space perception of Flying Thunder God. No need to seal, touch the ground with 2 fingers, touch the ground with 1 finger, perceive the number and strength of the enemy. It's too powerful, it's too powerful. It is indeed the famous skill of the 4th generation of Hokage. Chen said excitedly, learn those ninjutsu first. Chen, in a good mood, picked up the hidden shadow snake hand and psychic art that he had just copied. Rashomon started to study it. Secret technique. Latent shadow snake hand. Chen studied it and used the hidden shadow snake hand according to the above method. I saw Chen's arm instantly transformed into the appearance of a snake, opened his mouth and attacked the specimen jar on the shelf not far away. I have to say that Chen's talent is still a genius type, and this ninjutsu can be used only after a little research. Although genius is 1% inspiration and 99% sweat, sometimes that 1% inspiration is far more important than that 99% sweat. Then, Chen activated the skill, Secret Law. Latent Shadow Snake Hand. This time, his arm even transformed into 5.6 snakes and attacked the various specimen jars on the shelf. There was no suspense, and they were all broken. It's amazing, it can not only strike remotely, but also flexibly dodge, contain, capture and other actions. Chen praised after retracting the hidden shadow snake hand. Try this again. Chen's hands quickly nodded, and then he concentrated the chakra in his right hand to form a shape of thunder and lightning. Because the thunder and lightning were too violent, his right hand was beating uncontrollably, and Chen had to use it. Right wrist gripped by left hand. At this moment, the thunderbolt in his hand made a piercing noise, as if there were hundreds of birds chirping together. After the skill was formed, Chen let go of his left hand, shouted, "Lay done. Chidori," and stabbed at the table in front of him. Boom! The wooden table was directly blown to pieces. This Chidori's smashing power is really not built. This feeling of destroying everything is really cool. no wonder Urzuzi likes to use it so much. Looking at the table that was torn apart, Chen said excitedly. Haha, my current strength has at least reached the strength of Chunin. Chen suddenly thought of his own strength, and he was not sure what level he had reached. After all, he came to this world and had never played against anyone before, so that Shabi-Tai must not be counted. Forget it, don't think about it for now. I haven't practiced in the past year, and my strength has not improved, but it has slightly regressed. The most urgent task now is to cultivate back the strength that has regressed in the past year. Chen said firmly. Strength is king. Chapter 18. Being bullied. It was already evening when Chen came out of the laboratory. Is it so late? I didn't notice the passage of time under the laboratory. Now that the ninja school is over, I must go back quickly. Chen muttered to himself as he looked at the gradually darkening sky. Maybe that guy Sasuke is looking for me now, worried. You must know that Sasuke has not gone to Orochimaru yet, so his character has not become dark, although he looks very cold. It can be seen from the fact that he did not send Chen to the orphanage a year ago but took him home to take care of himself. And in the original book, he even used his body to attack Shiro for Naruto. In order to hide his cherishing of Naruto, he argued strongly when he was dying that he did not do this to save Naruto, but that his body couldn't help it. So the current Sasuke is just a Uchiha Sasuke who pays attention to feelings and is cold-hearted. Just when Chen Kue walked to the open space where he practiced before, he suddenly heard some noises, as if it came from the open space where he practiced before. There's someone ahead. Chen immediately ran up to a big tree next to him and hid himself. After a long time, the movement continued there and did not leave. Could it be that someone is cultivating over there? Who could it be? Chen thought in confusion. Then he cautiously dived toward the movement over there. It turned out to be him, and the person who has been cultivating here is Sasuke. Chen Qian went to the vicinity of the former training ground, jumped on a big tree and looked at the open space. At this time, someone was training hard. That the man is Sasuke. Sasuke used to come here by himself for training every day after school, and today is no exception. At this time, he was coming here to cultivate after school as usual. What he didn't know was that someone was watching him at this time. At this time, Sasuke had already collapsed and was lying on the ground panting heavily. After being stimulated by what happened last night, he worked harder than ever. After resting for a while, he gritted his teeth and stood up, staggering back. Is it so desperate? Chen looked at Sasuke's staggering back, and was shocked by Sasuke's persistence. Looking at the disappearing figure, he muttered to himself, do you want to become stronger and seek revenge on Itachi? After Sasuke left, Chen also came out of the hiding place and came to the place where Sasuke was training just now. At this time, the charred wooden stakes had been replaced by Sasuke, and the new wooden stakes were still full of shuriken. Chen reached out and pulled out a shuriken, played with it, and said thoughtfully, would you like to help him? After thinking about it, Chen decided to help him. After all, Sasuke was also there. The only relative in this world. Seeing him working so hard, Chen couldn't help but want to help him. Looking at the sky, it was very late. Chen also walked back in the direction of the home. Chen returned to the streets of Konoha, still showing the appearance of an idiot. When I was about to return home, I ran into a few students from the ninja school who were approaching, and these students were the ones who were driven away by Chen when they bullied Naruto, and that Shabi-Tai was also there. And Shabi-Tai and the others were also surprised when they saw Chen. Sasuke Uchiha, didn't we just meet him in front? Why did we meet him here again? Since Chen hasn't shown his face for more than a year, the students of the ninja school have almost forgotten about this person. So the first thing they thought of was that Uchiha Sasuke Benshin ignored these people and was planning to pass them by. At this time, Shabi-Tai suddenly thought of something. He called to Chen, Uchiha Chen, are you Uchiha Chen? Hearing Shabi-Tai calling him, Chen, who didn't intend to pay attention to them, stopped. Then he turned his head and pretended to be timid and asked them weakly, what do you want me to do? Uchiha Chen, It's really Uchiha-Chen. Come, let's go over. Shabby-Tai said to his companion next to him excitedly after hearing Chen's answer. Tai, don't you think? A student next to him asked Tai. It's better not to. He is Sasuke Uchiha's brother, and he was very good a year ago. Another child said to Taichi Shabi worriedly. What are you afraid of? I heard that this Uchiha-Chen suffered a serious mental blow after the family was exterminated a year ago and turned into a fool. He finally dropped out of the ninja school. He must be a waste. There is nothing to fear at all. And there are so many of us, who are still students of the ninja school. Are you still afraid of him being a fool? Shabby-Tai incited the other students. However, he is Sasuke Uchiha's brother. If we bully his brother Chen Uchiha, if Sasuke Uchiha knows this, he will not let us go. The last child said worriedly. Sasuke has been practicing hard for more than a year, and in every test or competition, Sasuke Uchiha always wins first place. Therefore, his strength has become the strongest in the class, and Sasuke Uchiha is very deterrent to his classmates at ninja school. Not to mention Sasuke is okay. When it comes to this Uchiha Sasuke, Taichi Shabi gets angry. Originally, before he went to the ninja school, Taichi Shabi was stronger than ordinary children, so he often bullied other children. However, after entering the ninja school, he was frustrated everywhere. On the first day of school, he was killed by Uchiha Chen in front of the whole class. Since then, he has been holding a grudge, always looking for an opportunity to take revenge. But there is no chance at all, because Uchiha Chen's strength is too strong. As time goes by, the gap between him and Uchiha Chen is getting bigger and bigger, and Chen has always been called a genius in school. And Shabby-Tai was just an ordinary civilian student without any qualifications. Even some of the people who had been bullied by him in the past had surpassed him and in turn defeated him. After all, the ninja is not the strongest who is strong, so his body that is a little stronger than the average person can't give him any help. The students who were often bullied by him in the past and were afraid when they saw him are now bullying him in turn. This made Shabby-Tai very embarrassed, but helpless. In a confrontation test just a few days ago, he was also killed by Sasuke, who was also Uchiha, and once again lost face in Uchiha's hands. Shabby-Taichi hated Uchiha to death, but he was helpless. His strength is relatively poor in the class, to put it bluntly, that is, the tail of the crane. If you want to seek revenge on Sasuke, you don't have to think about it. The two are not at the same level at all. The current Shabby-Tai has long since become the laughingstock of his classmates, making him unable to raise his head. He blamed it all on Chen Uchiha and Sasuke Uchiha, and Sasuke Uchiha had no hope of revenge. Today, he even met Uchiha Chen, who had become a fool. Of course, he would not let this opportunity go easily, and wanted to humiliate Chen fiercely to vent his anger. Tai Shabi said to those scared companions, "What are you afraid of? I won't tell you. No one will know if you don't tell me." But what if Chen Uchiha went back and told Sasuke Uchiha himself? Those students are still very worried. After all, Sasuke Uchiha doesn't say they can deal with it. They are just ordinary civilian students, not very talented, and they belong to the tail of the crane in the class, so they got together with Tai Shabi. "Don't worry, he's an idiot, no one will believe what an idiot says," Shabby-Tai said to his partner, and walked towards Chen with a grin. Shabby-Tai came to Chen and sarcastically said to Chen, "Yo. Isn't this the great genius of the past? I heard that he has become an idiot. Ha ha ha. What do you want to do?" Seeing Shabby-Tai approaching, Chen pretended to be very scared and slowly backed away. "This scum seems to want to do something to me," Chen thought in his heart. "What the hell, it seems that he will be beaten today." Shabby-Tai, right, I remember it. What do you want to do? Of course. Shabby-Tai kicked Chen directly on the body, kicking Chen directly to the ground. "Of course I'll beat you up. Idiot." Seeing the fearful expression on Chen's face, he felt overwhelmed. "Aren't you Uchiha? Aren't you a wealthy family of Konoha? Aren't you a genius? Ha ha ha. You say, why don't you say it?" Shabby-Tai kicked Chen, who fell to the ground. On the other hand, he yelled at Chen with a ferocious face. Chen silently endured Shabi Tai's fierce kick, but his heart was about to explode with anger. Shabi Tai, I remember it. The humiliation suffered today will surely be repaid tenfold in the future. Hey, come and kick a few of you. He's an idiot, what are you afraid of? Shabi Tai turned his head and said to the other 3 children. However, the children did not go forward, but waved their hands to Tai Shabi one by one. No need. It's fine if you don't need it. What are you doing? Stop it. Just when Taichi Shabi was going to continue humiliating Chen Uchiha, a voice suddenly came from behind them. It was a woman's voice, and the woman's voice sounded unhappy. Everyone looked over and found that there was a very young and beautiful woman walking towards this side at this time, and it was she who made the questioning voice. P.S. Ask for collection, ask for flowers. Add. Chapter 19, Ino and Koi. Hong Yuhi was in a good mood today. After completing a mission, she wanted to go to a pub and drink a few glasses of soju to celebrate. Unexpectedly, I met several children on the street and bullied another child together, and the attack was very heavy. Whoever encounters this kind of thing will not sit idly by, and Hong Yuhi walked over to the children. Aren't you Uchiha? Aren't you from Konoha's wealthy family? Aren't you a genius? Ha ha ha. You say, why didn't you say it? Came from the group of beating children an arrogant voice. What are you doing? Stop it. Yuhika walked behind the group of children and scolded them. Taichi Shabi and the others looked back when they heard the voice, and found a woman with a ninja forehead and a ninja vest looking at them with a frown. Ah, someone is coming, hurry up, hurry up. When the children saw an adult approaching, they immediately ran away. Little devil, are you alright? Yuri Hong squatted down to help Chen up, and patted the dust on Chen's body. Asked him. Fortunately, I was rescued. Chen thought in his heart, then raised his head to look at the person who helped him. Black shawl, curly hair, red eyes, this must be Yuhi Hong. Chen thought in surprise. Sister, I'm fine, Chen said to Hong, shaking his head. Then can you go back by yourself? Forget it, I'll take you back, lest those kids come and beat you again. Hong said, and dragged Chen to take him home. Come on, I'll take you back. How do you get to your house? As soon as I got home, I found that Sasuke was running out of the house with a worried expression. It turned out that Sasuke went home and sent the food to Chen, only to find that Chen was not in the room, and the first thing he thought was that Chen was kidnapped. After all, Chen has never left the house in the past year, and last night, someone wanted to take him away. He was worried that Chen was also taken away by the root person. So without thinking about it, I quickly ran out, planning to go to Hokage for help. As soon as he ran out of the house, he found Chen and Yuri Hong, who sent Chen home, and then rushed over. Bastard, where have you gone? Sasuke, who had just rushed over, roared at Chen, ignoring Hong Yuhi at the side. Although the tone is very bad, but still can hear the meaning of concern. I saw that Sasuke hadn't come back for so long and wanted to find Sasuke. Chen pretended to be timid and said to Sasuke. Hearing Chen's words, Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, but he was still very angry and said to Chen, Idiot, whoever asked you to come out to find me will only drag down other people's idiots. Chen could only lower his head and dare not answer. Okay, your name is Sasuke, right? Don't blame him, he also wanted to find you before going out. It's okay now, don't worry too much. Hong Zai advised. Who would worry about his idiot? I'm just afraid that he would run out and lose my face. Sasuke said stubbornly. Okay, since Chen has already arrived home, then I'll go first. Yuri Hong said to Sasuke and Chen. Anyway, thank you for bringing this idiot back. I've caused you trouble. Sasuke bowed to Hong in thanks. Well, it doesn't matter. Hong waved his hand, then turned and left. Humph, come back with me. Sasuke drank Chen after Hong left. Chen could only obediently follow behind Sasuke and enter the house. Huh, what's wrong with you? After returning home, Sasuke also noticed Chen's embarrassed appearance, and even his clothes were torn. Chen tore it by himself when he was making the torches. I was too worried just now, so I didn't notice it for a while, and only found out when I got home, so I asked Chen. Yes, it's Tai Shabi, he beat me. Chen told Sasuke what happened just now. He knew that with Sasuke's personality, he would definitely go to Tai Shabi. His hands taught that Shabi Taichi, who had been dying, a lesson. Tai Shabi, how dare you bully me, Uchiha? After learning that Chen was actually bullied by Tai Shabi, Sasuke was angry, and he would make Taichi Shabi pay the price tomorrow. After that, the two rarely sat together for dinner, and then went back to their rooms to rest. The next morning, Sasuke went to the ninja school full of anger. Sasuke, good morning. As soon as Sasuke came to the classroom, Sakura greeted him and greeted Sasuke. It's just that Sasuke ignored her and went straight to the protagonist's seat. Seeing that Sasuke still ignored her, Sakura lowered her pitch in disappointment. Hehe, I was ignored by Sasuke again, but it's okay, Sakura will definitely succeed in the future. Seeing his girlfriend so lost, Ino came over to comfort her. Yeah, it's okay, I'm used to it. Sakura said to Ino with a smile that she was okay. Also, I will always insist, I must make Sasuke like me. Well, come on, Ino encouraged Sakura. Well, Ino, you too. Sakura also said encouragingly to Ino. Me. Ino looked at Sakura and asked suspiciously, what's wrong with me? Hehe, Ino also has to work hard, find someone you like. Sakura whispered close to Ino's ear. Ino didn't react for a while when he heard Sakura's sudden words. But soon, after Ino reacted, the appearance of Chen appeared in his mind, and then smiled and said to Sakura, well, I already have someone I like. Really? Who is it? Tell me, who is it from our class? Sakura asked Gossip. Hehe, he is no longer in class. Ino said with a wry smile. Not in the class. Xiao Ying was a little puzzled. If he wasn't in the class, who could he be? Suddenly, Sakura thought of someone, and hurriedly asked Ino, Ino, tell me, do you still like that Chen? Ino and Sakura have always been very good best friends, so Ino liked Chen, Sakura knows. At that time, the two of them had agreed together that when they grew up, Sakura would marry Sasuke, and Ino would marry Chen. However, a year ago, after the massacre of the Uchiha family, Chen suffered a serious mental blow and became stupid. Sakura originally thought that Ino would take back her feelings for Chen, but she didn't expect that it had been more than a year, and Ino still hadn't forgotten about Chen. Ino didn't deny it, looked at Xiao Ying and said firmly, yes, that's right, I like Chen Jun. When Chen Jun first came to school, I have always liked him, even now, I still like him. But Chen Jun he's already like that, how can you still like him? Sakura really didn't want Ino to be obsessed with that Uchiha Chen. Yes, although Chen Jun has become like that now, I believe he will get better. Ino said. But, what if he doesn't get better? Aren't you too stupid? Xiao Ying still planned to persuade Ino. Only you can be so stupid. No, Chen Jun will definitely get better, I believe Chen Jun. Besides, I'm not the only one waiting for Chen. After Ino finished saying this to Xiao Ying, he looked at the man behind him. A girl with long hair, this girl is Xiao Jing who used to sit with Chen. If I give up now, I'll lose to Xiao Jing. So, I'll wait for Chen until he's healed. Xiao Jing, who was sitting in the back, seemed to sense Ino's gaze. They also looked at Ino, the two girls looked at each other and smiled, as if they both understood the thoughts in each other's eyes. Yes, Koi also liked Chen when he was in school. At that time, Xiao Jing had never had a friend because of Shabi Tai. No one dared to talk to her, they all avoided her. So she was always alone, until Chen appeared. Chen didn't avoid her like others, but was happy to talk to himself. However, Chen was challenged by Shabi Tai for talking to himself. Xiao Jing thought that it was her who had hurt Chen, so she blamed herself. Just when Xiaojing thought that Chen would be beaten by Tai like the child who talked to him before, Chen unexpectedly defeated Shabby Tai easily. Chen's strong attitude at that time deeply attracted Xiaojing. It was also from that time that Xiaojing had a special feeling for Chen. As he stayed with Chen for longer and longer, that trace of emotion gradually deepened, and finally slowly turned into love. However, compared to the cheerful Ino, Xiaojing is much more reserved. Since she has no one to talk to and play with since she was a child, Xiaojing has always been a very introverted little girl and never dared to make bold moves towards Chen like Ino. Because every time Chen came to the classroom, Ino always ran over to stick to Chen. Sometimes he hugs Chen's arm, and sometimes throws himself on Chen's back, always very affectionate. On the other hand, Xiaojing could only envy Ino on one side, silently paying attention to Chen, and did not make such an intimate move towards Chen like Ino did. Although Xiaojing has never shown her feelings for Chen, Ino, who also likes Chen, can see her thoughts. Then Ino would always look for Xiaojing's fault and oppose her everywhere. After all, it is impossible for her to give Chen to anyone, and whoever dares to attack Chen's idea is her enemy. Later, Xiaojing also understood why Ino liked to trouble her so much. It was because Ino already knew that she liked Chen, so he was afraid that he would take Chen away. P.S. Ask for collection, ask for flowers. Chapter 20, Tree Climbing Training. Although Xiaojing has never shown her feelings for Chen, Ino, who also likes Chen, can see her thoughts. Then Ino would always look for Xiaojing's fault and oppose her everywhere. After all, it is impossible for her to give Chen to anyone, and whoever dares to attack Chen's idea is her enemy. Later, Xiaojing also understood why Ino liked to trouble her so much. It was because Ino already knew that she liked Chen, so he was afraid that he would take Chen away. This time, Xiaojing couldn't bear it anymore. Jun is not from your family. You like Chen Jun, and I like it too. If you want to trouble me, then I will ask you to trouble you, to see who is afraid of who. In the end, the two who did not meet in the original work became a pair of rivals. Every day, they ridicule each other, and fight against each other every day. And Xiaojing's originally introverted character has gradually changed because of this, and she has become a cheerful and bold character like Ino. Her feelings for Chen are no longer concealed as before, but boldly expressed like Ino. Because of this, the two have become rivals like Sakura and Ino in the original book. Every day, the two girls fight for their husbands in the classroom. It is often seen that Xiaojing and Ino are holding Chen's one hand, pulling like a tug of war. Let no one else. This makes Chen in the middle very helpless, although very helpless, but Chen is not bored, but very happy. But also more than a year ago, because Uchiha was exterminated, Chen suffered a serious mental blow, in order to become an idiot who couldn't take care of himself. So he dropped out of school and has been training at home. And everyone will visit at the beginning, but when they find that Chen is not getting better, they gradually forget about Chen. On the other hand, Ino and Xiaojing always believed that Chen would get better, and would often visit Chen every so often. It's just that Chen didn't remember them, so they returned disappointed every time. In the end, because the two often go to see Chen together, they can feel each other's feelings, and the two slowly go from competing with each other to understanding each other. Then they comforted each other, cheered each other up, and gradually became a pair of very good friends. They always firmly believed that Chen would get better, and both of them were praying for Chen, hoping that Chen could return to her previous appearance as soon as possible, and silently waiting for Chen. I and Xiaojing will always wait for Chen to get better, Ino said to Xiao Sakura with a smile. His eyes were firm. You and Xiaojing, it's difficult. Could it be that you? Sakura looked at Ino and then at Xiaojing, her eyes were full of disbelief. Well, yes, Xiaojing and I will no longer argue about Chen. We both understand each other's feelings for Chen, and we will not give up easily. And the most important thing now is to wait for Chen to get better. Are you crazy? How can this be possible? Sakura felt that Ino must be crazy to say such a thing, and no one can agree with this kind of thing. Ino, wake up. Don't worry about Chen anymore. Now, forget him. I'm not crazy, I know exactly what I'm thinking, so Sakura, you don't need to say anything. Ino, you. Sakura was shocked by Ino and was speechless. Okay, go back to your seat, Uruka-sensei will be coming to class soon. Ino said and walked to his seat. Crazy, really crazy. No, I have to persuade Ino back, it's ridiculous. Sakura couldn't accept such a thing, she felt that Ino was just confused for a while, as long as she persuaded Ino again, she would definitely wake up over here. At this time, Uruka had come to the classroom to prepare for class, and Sakura had to go back to her seat and sit down, but she couldn't listen to what Uruka was talking about now, and she only wanted to do whatever she wanted. Forget about Ino and Uchiha Chen. At this time, Chen got up when Sasuke was going out, and after eating the breakfast that Sasuke left him, he planned to return to the laboratory to continue practicing. But this time it wasn't as troublesome as yesterday, because after getting the Flying Thunder God technique yesterday, Chen planted the Flying Thunder God coordinate technique in that laboratory. Not only in the laboratory, but also in his own room with the coordinate technique, so that he can come and go freely in the laboratory and in his room. You have to make some preparations, lest Sasuke suddenly come back and don't see me and get anxious again, get a clone and stay in the room. Chen thought for a while, it's better to get a shadow clone is better than clone technique. Even better, and the role of shadow clones is very important. Not only can it be used for cultivation, but it can also be used as an attack method. It is very practical and must be exchanged. The avatar is not an entity, but a phantom, which can only confuse the eyes of ordinary ninjas. If there is a wheel eye and a white eye, it can be seen through and it does not have the ability to attack. The shadow clone is to divide one's own chakra into identical clones, which can attack and act, because the chakra is evenly distributed. The white eye cannot see the entity, but the kaleidoscope can, after special training, such as the spot to see through it. Yamato's Mudden clone. After the shadow clone is released, the main body can gain the experience gained from the released shadow clone. There is no substantial difference between multiple shadow clones and shadow clones, but the number is more terrifying, because each clone is equally divided into chakra, so people other than those with a physique like Naruto are likely to lose their lives, so it is a forbidden technique. System, how many points do I need to exchange shadow clones? Chen asked the system. Answer to the host. Shadow clone technique, item type, skill, item level, B level, points to be exchanged, 2000, the host's points are insufficient and cannot be exchanged. Are there not enough points? Forget it, let's use the clone technique in the three-body technique for the time being. Just in case Sasuke goes home early, there should be no problem. After all, Danzo has not sent anyone to monitor me anymore. I shouldn't be able to tell with the strength that Sasuke's shinobu didn't reach. No way, Chen had to use the clone technique to create a clone, and then let him lie down on the tatami to sleep. Well, that's fine, you don't have to worry about Sasuke finding out that he's not in the room in the future. Chen looked at the clone lying on the tatami and nodded and said, okay, you can go. Then Chen's thoughts moved, and then the whole person suddenly disappeared from the room like this. When it reappeared, it was already in the laboratory. Start practicing chakra control from today. Chen plans to practice according to the method taught by Kakashi in the original book, that is, treading water and climbing trees. Ding! The system issues a mission. Master the tree climbing skills within 2 days. Mission completion reward. 300 points. Mission failure penalty. None. Do you accept it? The long-lost mission prompt sounded today, making Chen excited. Woke up. I finally got a task. How long has it been? I almost forgot that the system still has the function of releasing tasks. Chen said excitedly, yes, of course I have to accept it. It is rare for the system to release tasks. No matter how difficult it is, I will accept it. If you think this tree climbing training is easy, you are wrong. Chakra is the energy that ninjas need when using ninjutsu. It can also be made into a thread to bind opponents or cut off substances that are also made of chakra. In simple terms, Chakra is the energy necessary to use ninjutsu. And this energy is roughly composed of 1. The body energy absorbed from the 130 trillion cells of the human body, cell by cell. 2. The spiritual energy that has been exercised through many practices and accumulated experience. That is to say, the so-called ninjutsu is to absorb these two kinds of energy from the body, and after refining, this is called extracting chakra. It will be activated after the step of knotting. Like Chen, although he has been able to use ninjutsu, he has not yet fully mastered the control of chakra. The so-called extraction of chakra is to extract the energy of the body and spirit, and then mix it in the body. Depending on how ninjutsu is activated, the amount of extraction is different, and the blending required is also different. Chen can't use chakra effectively now. Even if you can extract the chakra you look at, if you can't control the balance, not only will the effect of ninjutsu be greatly reduced, but it will even cause ninjutsu to be unable to be activated. And because of wasting energy, it will also create a weakness that cannot last for a long time. This kind of tree climbing practice is not the kind of ordinary climbing that uses both hands and feet, but concentrates the chakra on the soles of the feet, makes the feet adhere to the trunk, and walks vertically. The purpose of this training is to gather the right amount of chakra in the right place. The amount of chakra required for climbing a tree is very delicate, and the soles of the feet are the most difficult places to gather chakra. In other words, as long as you can practice climbing trees, any ninjutsu can be learned, which is theoretically the case. The second point of this training is to maintain the refined chakra. Most ninjas refine the chakra in battle. In that case, it can be said that it is even more difficult to control and maintain the chakra. Therefore, if you want to improve your strength, tree climbing training is a must. Since this training could not be carried out in the laboratory, Chen walked out of the laboratory and went to the woods outside to start tree climbing training. Chen came to the outside of the cave and found a big tree with a straight trunk. Tree climbing training, I can't remember how Kakashi taught it. But it's certain to gather chakra on your feet. Try it first. Try it. Thinking of this, Chen began to make prints with his hands, then gathered all the chakras on his feet, sprinted towards the tree in front of him, and then stepped on the trunk to run up. However, after only running 5 steps, a piece was stepped on the tree trunk, and Chen also fell. Is it because I used too much chakra? Chen looked at the broken part of the tree, thinking.